and welcome to 3D Dice. My name is Celeste Bloodrain, and today is a special stream where we, instead of watching me develop the 3D Dice app, we're actually going to play with it. Today we're going to be playing a game called The Mountain Witch, and I've assembled here a lovely cast of streamers, which I'm sure most of you know. I'm going to shout you out, and please say hello, and I'll go around the room. We got 10 Rabid Bears.
Hello.
We got Grimbeard Adventures.
Hi there.
We got Rebel Aviator.
Hello.
And then we have Grim Quests.
Howdy do.
All right. So for those of you who are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, which should be pretty much everyone, this is going to be a game that is rather different, but still an RPG. It's called The Mountain Witch, and in every game we play, there is one and only one quest. You are hired by Lord Asai to climb the mountain and defeat the witch. And every character hasn't met each other before. We're not a party. We're a group of random adventurers who are seeking our fortunes because Lord Asai has promised us wealth beyond imagining. However, every character has a secret fate, which puts them at odds with the party. If you were watching while we were waiting to start, the secret fates were dropped in the chat. And it's really exciting to try to figure out what the fates are. And one wrinkle is each player can use that fate to narrate parts of the game into being as if they were the GM, even though I'm the GM. And I don't know the fates either. Also, our role mechanic, which we'll all learn together because none of our players have played yet, it will allow the high roller, as we roll off, to gain narrative control over the scene. The dice roll determine how good it is in their favor, but the high roll determines who gets to do the narration. So half the time it's not even me. So why don't we go back around the room, starting with 10 Rapid Bears again, and give us a little intro about yourself and introduce your character and tell us the answers to your public questions.
Sure. I'm 10 Rabid Bears. Some of you may recognize me as somebody who streams with Grim on his streams, playing Syndrin. I also, on my own channel, do a variety of things, but primarily lately it's been my own game system, Sorcery and Steel. Today, I'm playing... oh my god, I forgot my character's name. You can see how prepared I am. Finnegan Flint, who is a kind of a fox person, so to speak. He was born without eyes, however, so he is blind. And he became an adventurer because he wanted to pick up the legacy of his parents. They lost their lives adventuring, leaving him orphaned and raised on a farm by a family friend. When he was old enough, he started to make tracks like his parents before him. He wants to get the money from this adventure so that he can repay Jack and their family who raised him out of the goodness of their hearts after his parents were killed. Especially with his handicap, he had a lot to deal with, and he needed a lot of special attention before he learned how to use his handicap as an advantage. He learned how to use his other senses much more accurately than others would. And what adventure earned you reputation? He earned his first name when what has now been called a town called Treason. He happened to be, it was one of his first adventures, he happened to be traveling through a town, kind of stumbled into a coup attempt, and ended up discovering that it was a bastard child who wanted the throne, and ironically, it was treason that he was after, and the town was called Treason. So, yeah.
All right. And in this game, for the beginning, alignment really matters. What is your alignment?
He's neutral good.
Neutral good.
He likes to believe in the betterness of things, but everything has a place in this world. So.
And what are your powers?
Right. So he has I don't like the name of it, but I called it the Sunblade. It's a blade of sunlight that hums with arcane power. When in use, it sheds bright light around it, not that he can see it. And it's hot enough to melt through most basic metals easily given enough time. Additionally, he has echolocation. So he can, for him, in terms that makes sense, he can kind of see as normal, but he's blind. So obviously he can't see color or anything like that, but yeah, he can tell. And then his last power is sound manipulation. So he can use sound waves he can manipulate sound waves into things like blasts of energy to move or push objects, negate sound. I'm an audio engineer, so for me it was really fun to be like, hey, I can like silence areas because I know how sound waves work. So yeah, thought it'd be neat.
All right. Grimbeard, how about you go next?
Okay. So my name is Grim, or Grimbeard Adventures. I am. Hold on, I forgot to mute stream. I can hear myself. So I am a bi-weekly DM on my channel, and I've just started kind of breaking into like a little bit more variety. But I also co-host a podcast style stream with Rebel the Aviator, who is also in this game, and Jim from Goblin Tuesday. We do that every other Tuesday, and we talk mostly like TTRPG stuff. And actually, you know what? It's 90% our favorite foods and like 10% TTRPG.
Very accurate.
Yeah. So I am playing Soren Tathyavarg, who is a turtle who has been granted the powers of the Black Flame Dragon. His alignment is neutral evil, and it's not really a choice. It's just with great power comes great apathy, and he just has long since abandoned his moral compass. So he became an adventurer by encountering the Black Flame Dragon Norlanatoth, and chosen to receive his tutelage and to learn the ways of Black Flame. And some of the creeds are, a dragon always advances, a dragon does not concede or bend, and a dragon takes what he wants. And Soren doesn't really seek to, he doesn't really intend to be evil, but he doesn't kill wantonly, but he's been quoted saying, "I really don't care for what must burn beneath my feet to find a worthy opponent." Why did he take on this adventure? Well, wealth is everything to a dragon, and any chance to expand his hoard and find a worthy challenge is kind of his motivation for joining up here. And hold on, what? Sorry. What earned the reputation? So Soren studied under Norlanatoth for 5 years until he had mastered his body to take Black Flame into his core. He is now known as the Dragon Turtle because in order to receive this power, he had to prove himself strong enough and rend it from his master's fried bones. It's kind of a thing that gets passed down from dragon to dragon, and that's how he earned his title.
All right. So let's move on to Rebel Aviator.
Oh, hello there. I am Rebel Aviator, a Navy veteran, variety streamer, TTRPG enthusiast, and all-around nerd. So that's me. Most of the time, you've probably seen us do our D&D campaigns on Wednesdays, where we have recently got into Descent into Avernus, which we're about to wrap that up here, hopefully by the end of the month, which would be kind of ironic since it was September of last year that we've started our first ever session of Rime of the Frost Maiden. So we're on track to have a whole year of tabletops on the channel. So, but that's me in a nutshell. I won't take up much. I am playing Tobor the Empathetic, He is a warforged, sentient being, um, kind of monk-esque, very very Buddhist-like. The alignment, we'll just go ahead and get that off the rip. It's lawful good. For this, we also have how did you become an adventurer? After the death of my master at the monastery, I left to continue his teachings throughout the world. I travel from town to town, helping other adventurers with odds and ends jobs. Whether it's slaying monsters or providing insight, I am here to fulfill their objectives, and hopefully I gain a sense of peace by helping others. Why do I need these riches? Would love to build my own monastery in to continue the teachings of my master. What adventure earned my reputation? So I walked for several days with no problems. Thugs would rob me. I have no need of material possessions. After a 2 months journey, I came across a chasm that was only crossed by a single rope bridge. There I was ambushed and had to defend myself. Over 100 bandits tried to take me out, which kind of seems like overkill now that I think about it. But I did not deal death to them. I spared all of their lives and actually mended some of their wounds while taking them to the nearest town. Hence why they gave me the title Tobor the Empathic. So I would, after that, I had told them to bring the words of my teachings to, again, come back to me at my new monastery.
How about your powers?
So I have sense motive. I can kind of like sense when like the true nature of people to a degree. It's not like I can read your freaking mind, but yeah, I can kind of get a good roundabout feel about it. Alertness, can never be surprised. So as I'm always vigilant, I'm always watching. And spirit guardians. I always felt like there was something watching over me, whether it be actual spirits of the realm or my master watching over me as we travel throughout the land.
Alrighty, and GrimQuest, it's your turn.
Hi, hello. Yeah, I'm GrimQuest. I run 2 D&D campaigns, one every other Monday, the other on Saturdays. When I'm not running my D&D campaign, I'm either playing RPGs or doing D&D prep. And that's about it for me. I'm playing Dorian Fawn. He is a lawful evil gnome, only standing about 3'2", but don't let that make you think he's weak. He became an adventurer out of necessity. Tyrannical gang leader took over a small town and claimed it as their domain. So he had to learn, fight, lie, steal, and use all of his skills in thievery and magic as a way to survive and make money in the savage streets of once calm hometown. Why am I going on this venture? Well, I bet money I didn't have in a friendly game of cards. And those who I lost against are getting rather impatient.
Hey, GrimQuest, you cut in and out there for a bit. If you wouldn't mind backing up a little.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was doors were being opened. I became an adventurer by necessity. A tyrannical gang leader took over my small town and claimed it as their domain. I learned to fight and use my skills in lying, magic, thievery to survive and make money in the savage streets of my once calm hometown. I need to go on this adventure because I bet money I didn't have in a friendly game of cards, and those I lost against are getting a little impatient for their money. And why I'm a little more renowned is that 2 years ago, a wealthy businessman named Eltor Fennis, who was trying to gain a noble title, was set to bring aid in potions and coins to a plague-ravaged town of Lumnus. His caravan was accosted by brigands. I, traveling along the road, saw the encounter and single-handedly stopped the attempt in his life and pushed back all of the brigands, making sure that the supplies and Eltor made it to Lumnus safely. Because not only Eltor's savior, but some say I am the savior of Lumnus.
Nice.
My powers are when I hold my breath, I can reduce my size. I can do words of paranoia. I can speak a string of words that makes the target unable to discern friend from foe. The target believes everyone, even his friends, are out to get him. And duplicity, I can make an illusion of myself that I can control and move around within a certain range.
All right, and how about your alignment?
Lawful evil.
Lawful evil. So I mentioned alignment was important for this game, and part of that reason is that all of your characters haven't met each other before, but they do know each other by reputation. And that will determine the amount of trust between you that you start with. And for those of you watching, in this game, trust is a game resource that you can spend. If two adventurers are working together and they spend trust, they get to add their dice together. Otherwise, normally, you take the highest roll. I, as a GM, I don't get any trust. I can never spend that. So, if the party can work together, they should be able to surmount any obstacle set before them. But the complications of their secret fates will make it so that they cannot always work together. So, let's go ahead and first scene. So, here we are at the palace of Duke Asai, in the city of Asai. And you have all gathered here together for the first time. Maybe you chatted with each other a little bit while waiting for the audience. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for taking up this quest. This witch at the top of the mountain has been a thorn in the side of me and all the people in my duchy for far too long. And everyone that I've sent up there hasn't come back successful. It's very unfortunate. So we turn to you. We're offering you all the riches that we have in my humble duchy, and I really need you to climb to the top of the mountain and deal with the witch in whatever way you possibly can. Do you have any questions about what lies before you?
When you say riches, how much riches are we talking about exactly, if we had to put a number count on it?
Ooh, more riches than you could possibly imagine.
That's a good number. I like that number.
That's a very solid number.
A dragon can imagine quite a bit. I think you might be exaggerating.
Okay, fine. A quarter of what a dragon could imagine.
If it's only a quarter of what I can imagine, then why hire these other 3 whelps? I could handle this on my own.
All due respect, you just need to trust me that I don't think one person could handle this on their own. The witch has a fortress at the top of the mountain, and he is amassing an army. And not only that, my spies who have made it back have told me that he has made a pact with a snow spirit, that personification of winter who lives on the mountain. I think one adventurer alone would not come back if my retinue did not make it back either.
Soren snorts and a little puff of smoke escapes from his nostrils.
I will ask that you keep your fire low in here. There's a lot of flammables. You save that for the witch, please. Please don't
Calm
scare
yourself. I am no fledgling with poor control. Calm yourself.
me. No offense, man.
But certainly with very terrible manners.
Do you see how big he is? I've heard about Sword. This guy could beat up everything, anything, but he might be lacking on the intelligence department, if you know what I mean. So I think we'll make a great team.
He'll like reach up and try and pat you.
You might burn yourself.
Oh, so, ow.
All right, if there are no other questions, I'll give you a map and send you on your way.
I'm eager to get going.
Yeah?
I do have one question though. You already said you sent up someone before. If we were to find their body, what would we be looking for exactly? Because maybe there's reward to bring him back down, just like a mill, a little bit more money, maybe.
I wish I could offer you more money. I'm already offering you all of the money that we have to possibly give. But if you were to bring them back, a proper burial, we could arrange. My retinue should be wearing tabards with my seal on them, my coat of arms. So that's how you could identify them if you did want to bring them back. But honestly, what I really need, I don't need their bodies back. I need the witch dealt with. So he hands you over a map. Here's the map of the area. We've got the city of Asai, as well as the witch's fortress atop the mountain of shadows. A small town at the foothills of the mountain called Beywich. And you might see a couple little other points of interest on the mountain, which I have left undefined. This might be the time that any one of you, if you have a location that ties into your fate, you can tell me what they are. And if you skip this, I've got backups. So no pressure. Is there anyone who wants to recognize anything that's drawn on the map?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
I'm completely lost on this map.
You're completely lost? Alrighty. Well, this isn't a one and done. If you do want to steal one of these places or make up a new one, chime in at any moment. So we'll move ahead to setting out to the Witch's Fortress. Do you guys want to make any plans or arrangements before you leave? Make a little plan amongst yourselves?
Has anyone heard about what we may face? Other than what we were given?
If it is to be assumed, the mountain is quite magical. Strange, otherworldly presences as such. So, I'm eager to see what happens. Only because I would like to see life in all forms.
I
agree.
share Tobor's enthusiasm, but for different reasons. I'm eager to face what lies ahead of us.
I've met people like this before, and if this person is as powerful or pretends to be as powerful as they are, they probably got all manners of ruffians and brigands and all type of people like that who are just looking for the next best thing.
More minds to cleanse, more minds to teach.
Cleanse. I like that word. We'll go with that one. That sounds way better than what I was going to say.
More kindling for the fire.
Just points at Soren like that.
I think if there was nothing else with the rest of the group, I would probably go to the nearest temple and just start praying, preparing myself.
Soren would actually return. So when he arrived in Asai City, he arrived with a small retinue of kind of like sect followers, other fighters, and I guess supplicants that I've picked up through my battles and conquests. So I would return to them, say my goodbyes, and offer words of encouragement to stay down here and not to follow.
Mm. Anyone else have any goodbyes to say?
Dorian would mostly be walking around Asai City, just kind of looking around, making sure he doesn't recognize anybody. And if we talked about the meeting place at the main gate, you'd see him like set up a box with a deck of cards and be like, all right, find the queen, find the queen.
All right. Are we ready
Finn would
to?
just be kind of listening to everybody. He likes to get a feel for things.
Okay. We
It's
ready
gonna pass
to
by.
set out?
Think so.
All right.
Yep.
So, Soren, you told your supplicants to stay behind, and Dorian, you're playing cards with people at the gate. You all collect yourselves and start to head down the road towards Beywich. And as you progress down the road, you're not out of sight of the city gates yet, and barreling down the road is a man driving an ox cart. And you can see 4 people running behind the cart, waving weapons. Usually, in your experience, people, bandits and brigands along the road carry weapons that usually have a dual purpose: clubs, axes. These people are armed with spears, weapons of war. The ox cart's barreling towards you. How are you going to deal with this?
So all we see is just like the front of the ox cart, just the ox and the driver and the cart.
Yes, it's not moving slowly. The ox is booking it. The man is trying to escape from these bandits or people with spears.
Is he yelling anything when we notice all this?
He's yelling to spur the oxen on, or the ox,
Sure.
Single ox. He hasn't taken notice of you. He's not asking for your help, if that's what you're wondering.
No,
Yeah.
just like get away or anything like that. Like
It's like, run. It's clear that he's trying to escape.
Wonderful.
It seems to Soren in his level of conquest, especially like with the type of followers the Crest of Black Flame gathers, that it looks more as if he's fleeing from a job. Like he's actually like this driver is fleeing from those that he's wronged, and he might be actually stealing this cart. So Soren, thinking this, is actually content to sit back and see if he can get away with his spoils, or failing that, take them for himself.
Okay. So jumping in here about how this game's resolution mechanic works. If you decide to do something, such as Grimbeard's just doing, we're going to draw up a side. I'm going to ask you to pick a goal of what your outcome for the conflict at hand is. Draw up into sides. The different sides roll. Take the highest roll, or if you spend trust, add them together. I'm going to roll for the man of the ox cart who wants to escape the men with spears. I'll roll for the men with spears who want to apprehend the cart and take what's in it. So that's what I'll be rolling for. And Soren, you're going to be rolling to help the man escape.
I'm actually
stuff for yourself.
By a dragon's philosophy, if he's strong enough to take it, then he deserves it.
So you're gonna are you gonna not intervene, or are you gonna try to take the spoils for yourself?
I won't intervene unless he is stopped.
Okay.
And then at that point, like if it looks like he's gonna fail, then I'll jump in and then I'll take it for myself.
Okay. Anyone else want to get involved?
Question: the ones who are
Yes.
chasing the individual, they do not have the crest of the person we're working for, right?
They do not.
Okay.
They are dressed in non-uniforms.
Dorian has both a hate for guards and people doing shakedowns, so he wants to find the biggest one that's chasing this cart, and he would like to use his ability of words of paranoia. And the one that's kind of like in front, he just wants to make him freak out and think that he's surrounded by either guards that are his enemies or all these people are out to kill him. And just kind of look at him, he's like, all right, let's trip him up. And then waves his hand and tries to get into the guy's mind.
Okay.
And hopefully my goal is to make him freak out and maybe stumble over and make everybody trip over him.
Okay. So you want to trip up the men with spears and stop their advance by doing what you just said, which I'm not going to repeat.
Yep. I'm making him freak out thinking that these people right beside him are his enemies.
Alrighty. Tobor, will you be intervening?
I choose not to interfere. This
Okay.
seems that there's much more than meets the eye, and I don't think my sense motive could kind of give the proper outcome.
All right. And Finn, are you going to help Soren, help Dorian, help the cart driver, do something else?
I think Finn is kind of more in line with Tobor on this one. There's
Okay.
not enough data here for him to really understand what's going on.
Okay.
And going one way or the other could make things worse.
Is it words of paranoia? Is that subtle, or is that something that we can see you doing? Like that's something that we would be aware that you're.
Anything Dorian does is not subtle at all. Like you can fully see him just doing like a ha-cha! Like you can see him casting the magic.
I gotta tell you, I'm picturing Bobbity from like Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. So if I understood this right, the only person who's going to roll is Dorian. The rest of you are waiting.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
Pretty much. Okay. So here, I will roll the shiny die made by Optaria for the ox cart driver, and the other four for the bandits trying to stop the cart. And Dorian, when you're ready, we'll roll. All right. What did I get? I got, 5 for the ox cart driver and a 6 for the bandits. And you got a 2. All right. So I get to narrate. So Dorian, you flail your arms trying to use your words of paranoia to stop the bandits, and you do manage to throw the lead bandit into a tizzy. But the lead bandit wasn't really the leader, and while he falls over, the rest of the crew happily vault over him and are able to grab. One of them is able to apprehend the ox cart, grab the reins of the oxen, pull the ox cart to a stop, and declares to the driver, "Hand over what's in your cart. We need this food for our camp. Do not resist or you will be attacked." What are you guys doing? The bandits are going to try to make off with the food. The ox cart driver. I'll wait to declare what the ox cart driver does to see what everyone else is doing. If no one else is going to resist the bandits, the ox cart driver is going to give in.
No, Soren's not having this. He doesn't care for the food. He doesn't need it for the clan, but he is going to step up and he's going to demand, if you want any of these goods, you fight the driver one-on-one in combat. You must prove that you're worthy for this.
Ooh.
And I'll kind of look at the ox cart driver. If you are too weak to stand for yourself, then you may choose a champion.
All right. Oh,
He
yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
sits down and leans to listen to this. I want to say watch, but he can't. say.
Are you volunteering to be the champion?
I will if I must, but there will be a price.
I'll pay anything. I'll give you the food. Well, I don't have that much, but I'll follow you. What are you asking?
Whom do you serve?
I serve only myself, sir.
Then it appears that you will be joining the crest of the Black Flame.
I serve the crest of the Black Flame, I guess.
So be it.
How
Who is
can I-
first?
Ooh. Who is first?
Can I spend one of my trust to aid him in this?
You can. How will you be
Ooh.
aiding him?
I will walk up, and Doran has run scans many times before. He's like, yes, and you must choose your most competent, and the one who tripped and fall down on the road. He goes, that one right there. We saw him. He exerted himself overly. He wants this court the most out of all of you. He should fight our champion for it, for only he desires it the most.
Okay. I'll go with this. Anyone else getting involved?
I was going to, but he's got it. I'm just gonna listen.
I don't have enough data to process this, so I will wait to see the outcome.
Okay. So I will roll for the Tripsy bandit. Soren and Doran, you guys roll and add your dice together.
Oh, I made a button.
Press your button. I got a 6.
Oof.
I am +1. That's only a partial success. So, let's well, first we got to deduct a point of spent your trust. 2. Perfect. All right. So, Soren, you are fighting this bandit one-on-one. The bandit wants to best you in combat. And while he doesn't best you in combat, he does manage to wound you. So you now have a chapter wound. It will heal when we reevaluate trust next. That means you get a -1 on all of your rolls. Do you want to continue the fight?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Doran, are you helping again?
Seeing that Soren got wounded, I was like, oh, he can bleed, and he just backs away.
Uh-oh. Okay. You
Ignore
ready?
this, I'm just testing something. If it goes off at all. Good.
All right, that one's mine coming through.
I got a 2. So you're you only got a 5.
I got
But
a 5.
you're still up 3. That's a regular success, and you see our little plot armor thing. That's enough that you could kill the bandit during your narration. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, so he is able to get the better of me. Like this so the fight had started. And we started trading blows, and I'm kind of just warming up. Like I'm kind of just feeling this guy out when Dorian's distraction actually kind of had like a twofold effect where it did take some of my attention away. I wasn't expecting him to step up like he did. So this main bandit was able to get in kind of a cheap shot, and I'm feeling it. Soren's pissed. And he doesn't stand for that kind of thing, so he rushes forward, locks hands with the bandit, and says, "You made a terrible mistake. That was even thinking you could stand against me in the first place." And he bends the bandit's hands backwards and backwards until both of his wrists snap. And then he lets the bandit go.
Ooh, okay. So what about the rest of the bandits? what do they do?
I look to them, expecting them to flee.
Okay, well, they flee. So, to recap, the bandits have fled. We have a ox cart full of food. We have an ox. We have the newest member of I forgot what it was called.
Oh, the crest of the Black Flame.
The crest of the Black Flame. Let's give him a name. Would you like to name him, or I've got some names prepared?
You can take a name. I'll name him something weird. You know what? No, Steve. We're gonna go Steve.
Okay.
Saw it coming a mile
I'm
away.
gonna call him Steve the Thief.
Who could have guessed that name was coming?
Yeah,
Who could have
right.
guessed?
I didn't
That's
even
what I
do. That's not me. That was Shiro. I just
That
had.
was
I had to
Shiro.
kind of lean. I had
Okay.
to lean into it.
So I think I just signed myself up for something. But thank you. I was running from those bandits because I did steal their food because I needed it for my family. I don't know what service you demand of me being in your order now. But do I have time to bring the food to my family?
You have time to bring your family to the Black Flame. You travel with us now. You serve under me and betray us, and you will face a worse fate than what you just saw here today. Collect your family, collect your belongings, whatever it takes to live on the road. Bring this cart to my camp in Hasai City, and you will be welcomed there.
Okay. So, let's see. So he thanks you and rides his cart off. I will let you decide when he shows back up after having finished your little quest that you gave him.
Okay.
Okay, any thoughts or comments from anyone?
Finn, after hearing all this, kind of leans over to Tobor. Fears linger like faint echoes.
Agreed. It's also quite amusing. I'm not sure if you were able to catch that, but he did take some damage during the fight. So all that bolsterous bravado, he still bleeds. Intriguing.
Do I hear that?
How far away are you guys? Or
We were just
do
sitting
you
by the
want him
side
to hear
watching.
that? I saw a shrug.
I don't care if he heard me,
Yeah.
but I didn't say the last part, so.
Tobor.
Oh, I mean, I'm literally just a conversation beside each other, so I wouldn't
You're trying
be
to be quiet.
speaking. I wouldn't
Okay.
be speaking aloud.
Okay, so let's do this. Soren, you want to overhear the conversation. Tobor and Finnegan, you do not want to be overheard.
That's
You wanna
a good way to
roll?
say it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
roll
yeah.
with that. I didn't
Yep.
really care before, but now I just want to make a roll, so let's do it.
Okay, Tobor and Finn, are you spending trust to help each other?
Let's see. I don't think. Do we need to?
I don't think we
You
need
think
to
we
right
need
now.
Yeah,
I don't think we
we
need
right
to.
now. I don't know. I don't know if this is one of those moments we need to.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it.
So that's a 4 from me.
See if mine works this time. I got a 3.
And a 3! Okay, partial success for Soren. So you don't get to overhear the whole conversation, but you do get to overhear a little bit. How did you go about it? How did you manage to sneak up on them or overhear, and how much did you hear?
So I'm not necessarily eavesdropping. It's just kind of, it's more or less just like what I heard as the cart is rolling off. And I mean, it's not really enough to anger Soren. It's more for my reputation. Soren spits a mouthful of blood on the ground and said, "I never claimed to be invincible." but a dragon doesn't back down, especially in the face of adversity.
Of course. Resilience is the rhythm that echoes through the veins of those who rise against adversity.
Eloquently
Sure.
put.
He's looking the other way, by the way. He's
Yeah,
like, you're over here, and he's...
That
I like
seems very, very intentional.
Oh, I mean, he can't see anyway, so...
Right, but I mean, with the ears that this guy is sporting,
Oh, yeah.
and is echolocation a passive thing, or is that like,
It's
or is
a
it
passive thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it
That's
definitely
how
feels.
he sees.
Yeah, Soren kind of feels like you may be looking away as if like you're confused, but I mean he knows.
Right.
I think he's picking up that you're a little more sly than what you're kind of letting on.
Ooh, okay.
I didn't know we were playing the social deduction game this entire time. Holy crap.
Yeah.
We got to figure out what everybody's fates are too. Remember that.
Yeah, I know.
Dorian,
Yeah.
That's
Dorian
I got a
reading
list of theories.
reading the situation just goes in between them and goes to him. Wow, you were amazing. You just crushed that guy's hands. I don't know what these guys are talking about. You're the best.
Oh no, it sounded wonderful.
I'll kind of slap a clawed hand on Dorian's shoulder. And whom do you serve, little one?
I serve the righteous hand of the third.
There.
Who's got
I'm
a
not
third hand?
I'm not familiar with that one, but
Not of this
should I prove worthy to your aspirations, you'll join the Black Flame.
You're burning my shoulder.
Indeed.
Anytime now. Just please. It's really starting to stick.
All right, yeah. Soren will take his hand off.
I wholeheartedly wish we had cameras for this because that was perfect. Oh, mercy.
I'm very emotive when I speak.
You are.
I love it.
Don't push me too hard, though. Took me a lot to just get this set up.
Oh, I know.
Maybe
I know.
next
You're
time
good,
I
you're
host
good.
one of these.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah. But all of you have been super helpful getting me to where I'm at. This is leveled me up.
DMs
try.
together strong.
Yes.
Very true.
I think after like just seeing that interaction between Soren and Dorian, I would just like I would just kind of go grab my prayer beads and just go, interesting. It seems that one would need guidance. Seems one is lost in the ether, but is eager to follow those with the strongest weapons.
Mhm.
Intriguing. More data must be found.
All right.
Sounds like he needs to construct additional pylons, eh?
I'm getting to that one.
His
All right,
life
good.
definitely is for honor.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready to move on down the road?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the Olympic
Carry
road.
on.
So as you continue down the road to Beywich, you encounter a recently deceased corpse along the road. Does anyone want to recognize who the corpse is of?
I
I
would.
don't think Finn could, so I'm good.
Be
Oh,
a very, very bad mortician, honestly.
He would. There's a body. I can tell it's a body. Beyond that, I don't.
it sounds dead.
Yep.
I hear no heart.
It
Super
gives
dead.
dead. It gives dead vibes. I don't know how you see vibes, but it's dead vibes.
I mean, aren't all sounds vibes?
Technically.
Technically.
I think the lack of vibes means it's dead.
Just
I
this
find your
dull
lack of
area
vibes
in
disturbing.
the woods. It's like that dead over there.
All
I
right.
could just, it's like, he doesn't pass the vibe check. Dude's got no chill.
He's all
Like
chill.
him.
He's dead.
He's all
That's
chill.
true.
He's completely dead.
Oh,
Far
Celeste,
too
we're
much
gonna
chill.
need tangent buttons.
Yeah. But I would go over to the body and try to ascertain of who this person was and start to perform proper burial rites.
Mm.
As it is for all customs to at least properly bury the dead and give celebration of life as it leaves from one mortal coil to start anew in the journey of the circle of life.
Mm.
Insert Disney montage here.
So, do you recognize who this person is?
It's faint that it seems like one of the 100 that I had helped or beaten up and then helped heal. But after seeing all of them, it's kind of hard to tell. They still wore this. He seems to be wearing the same clothes and the same weapons that they had during the battle. But once they left, I had adorned them with, simple robes and stuff. So this one kind of seems like they're wearing, they literally just kept the sash of the robe and put on their other gear. But they still kept what seems like a memento of my teachings. And I kind of kneel down and grab my prayer beads and I start to pray more and more.
So, the rest of you see Tobor going and burying this random dead body and stopping your company over it. What do you guys think? What are you guys gonna do?
I'll listen to the dirt that he's moving because
Chink.
see.
Chink.
At most, he'll have one. He'll probably Finn would probably say something along the lines of to Tobor, like echoes in a canyon. Memories rebound through the corridors of time.
Agreed. This one seems to have held on to past life, wanting to start anew, but held on to old teachings. I still do not harbor any ill contempt for those who do not follow the teachings, but it is their choice to continue on their path. I can only offer guidance, and I did that. But I will give him the proper burial that he deserves. As I go back to digging this little makeshift burial site.
Did you know this man?
He was one of the ruffians that tried to rob me during my travels, but he seemed different, as if he was just following people, not really of his own volition. Seemed to go with the flow, but you could tell that he didn't want to be there. He wanted more, but was lost and needed direction. From here, I offered direction and insight to help him better his life, but it seems that he has clung to what he knows. And so, I am mournful, but I am not saddened. It was foreseen. His outcomes were about 25% success on continuing the teachings. But again, all I did was offer insight. Whether they choose to take it or not is upon them. He leaves up from the hole to start preparing the body and grabbing a rock to make as a makeshift headstone. And he lays the body in, starts covering the body up with dirt, and places the headstone there and starts to etch in I had I gotta find it now because there was a picture. I gotta remember the saying. Sorry, I should have prepared this, but it's okay. Good lord, where is it? um. In this inscription, it would say, "Follower of self, known only to God," and then like, just very blanket statement, not like any particular deity individually, but blanket God.
Mm. All right. Ready to move
That's
on?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you leave this grave by the side of the road, and um, we come to what are we gonna come to? You see a child, a lone child along the road, sitting on a stone and crying. They seem lost. The child cries and sees you and cries out, "Help me! Help me! I was with my sister. We were traveling to Beywich. We almost made it to the Traveler's Rest. And she was abducted. I tell you, these people were working. They were sent by the witch to carry off children. I need you to help me. I need you to find her."
I would kind of look over to. Let's say muted. I would kind of look
That's
over to Finnegan and say, "What do you claim of this?"
Before even responding, he's already starting to walk over to the kid, and he kind of just like stands in front of. This is a big kid, like Finn's like a fox person, so like I don't know. Think Rocket from
Oh, yeah,
height-wise.
it's
So see,
a child young enough to not be on their own, about your height,
sure.
human being.
Can you?
Has the child seen Soren?
Um,
Can only imagine.
sure. Should she be scared?
I mean, I'm not doing anything threatening, but I would imagine.
Are turtle people normal in these parts so that you're not surprising or particularly menacing?
I'd
You
say
seen this guy?
Yeah, I'd say turtles probably are, but I mean, I obviously am kind of
You're a corrupted turtle.
power packed full of rage and destruction. So
Okay. So like she sees you, but the grasping the desire to grasp for straws is strong.
Can you tell us when this happened?
This happened today. Not too long ago. I haven't been alone that long.
Leash.
We
You
were.
shouldn't be alone on this road.
Oh no, but I need to find my sister. I can't leave her. She shouldn't be alone either.
If the things you say are true, and she was taken by the witch, we're heading in that direction anyway, aren't we?
I don't know. Are
perhaps we
you?
will help by proxy.
We were traveling to Beywich. Is that where you're headed to?
Well, I think we have to go through there anyway, right?
Yes.
Because we're going up to the mountain. Yeah. Okay. For now, yes, and unless anyone has problems with this, kind of like poking an ear back towards the party. Perhaps you should walk with us in the time being. This is not a place to be alone.
But they didn't take my sister down the road. They took her off into the woods.
Could my sense motive kind of attest that this child is telling like absolute truth?
Let me think about that for a moment.
Fair enough.
I mean, let's put it that the child wants you to help her find her sister. You know, she's telling the truth as much as children can. She's not trying to deceive you. She's trying to get you to help her.
She believes what she's saying.
Yes, she believes what she's saying. She may not be describing it accurately.
Right.
Small child, my friend Finnegan over here speaks the truth. We will find your sister. Because if you didn't know, I'm the savior Luminous, so like you're in really good hands. I just need to put that out there. But we will help you find your sister on the caveat that you all join this man's cult over here.
I don't know if they call it a cult in their circles.
It's not a cult. No one in Black Flame worships me.
Black flame thingy mabobber.
Soren's eyes flare a little brighter.
Sorry, I mean Black Flame, super important brigand of people who are worship the dragon blood and are very renowned and awesome.
I don't know if I could.
Just nod yes. Just nod
But
yes.
my sister, I would have
just
to
nod
ask my
yes.
sister. I'm not supposed to leave her, and I'm supposed to listen to her.
No. Oh no! We're gonna find her, and you're gonna persuade your sister to join this awesome group, or she might be dead. Two options.
I appreciate the vigor that you're putting into this, Dorian, but the child owes me nothing.
The child starts crying again at the thought of her sister being dead.
Oh! I hate when they do this. The boogers.
Finn is going to kind of silence the area around the child for a moment.
Ooh, okay. What are you trying to do?
Just for lack of a better term, to shut them up. Because they're making a kid cry.
We're rolling for this.
I didn't.
Sure.
The kid wants to be heard.
Oh no, the kid can talk. It's being positioned so that they are not antagonizing the idea that their sister may be dead.
Okay, so what's your true motive? You want the girl to forget about the sister being dead? You want to quiet the area?
Yeah, I want to stop any more unseemly phrases being uttered to further upset this child.
So you want to protect the child from the adult talk.
He's stopping Dorian from upsetting this child more.
Okay. Yeah. So Dorian, are you gonna roll with the child? Because the child wants to hear everything.
I wouldn't even know he's doing this probably, so I'm just gonna keep talking, and if anything can do whatever he wants.
She could just be dead. Absolutely. Worst thing in slavery. She could be working at a bar somewhere, which she's far too young if she's your sister.
And Soren is spending the whole time trying to talk over Dorian, saying that you don't understand. It's not a cult. They know one worse. It's just it's a sect of just strength and superiority. That's it. We just need an extra.
Do you got ropes?
If this works, it's going to be literally like somebody just takes the volume and just slowly turns it down on that section.
Okay, let's roll. Kid gets a 4. Ooh, you get a 3. Partial success. Okay, so I'm going to do damage. The child's wails overload your sensitive ears, and she cries and cries, and you try to use your, what did you call the name of the power? Sound manipulation.
It's sound manipulation.
Okay,
Yep.
you open yourself up to the sounds around you, and it feeds back into your head, and you also take a chapter wound.
Noted.
All right, so are we helping
That's a
this
messy
kid?
Nick.
Gonna find the sister?
I would like to.
All right. Splitting up's allowed.
I will assist Finnegan.
Soren, he doesn't, obviously doesn't really have like, he doesn't really care like who he has to kill, but he really doesn't suffer a child being taken.
Okay.
But that probably means like more will be laid to waste upon finding our assailants.
Here, Soren, like if you kill all of them, that just makes your renownedness more renowned.
I was going to say the same thing.
Finnegan gets it. And he'll just like wave his hand at Finnegan because he doesn't know yet like what is up with him and just staring off in the distance.
He wears a cloth over his eyes because he doesn't have eyes, and it's a little unsettling for people, so he's learned to just wear a cloth.
I don't know what's more unsettling, the fact that there is a small blind fox next to a robot next to I will assume like a halfling, and then next to a red Torton. So this whole party is a little unsettling, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, we all went weird because we're like, we can just be whatever. Cool.
Well, you got to do it when you can. So,
Right.
Are we all agreed that we're gonna go find the older sister? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What's the plan? The little girl told you she was taken off into the woods by a man working for the witch.
Can anyone find tracks? I mean, I could try listening for them, but if they're far away, I probably won't be able to hear them.
I would kind of start looking around for like obvious like broken branches, like footprints or anything like that. Obvious stuff. I'm not very well versed in tracking and survival.
Okay.
Soren would like. I'd like to use an ability where I can actually kind of increase my size, see if I can see over the treetops, and maybe
Ooh.
find like a source of light out in the forest.
Okay.
What time is it? Is it midday, or are we traveling at night, or?
It's getting towards nighttime, so metagame, tip the hat. By the time if you succeed at tracking down the older sister, it will be nighttime, and after this,
Okay.
I will take a pause. We'll reevaluate trust, and everyone's gonna have nighttime encounters.
Cool. So I get if I can see over it's kind of like a dragon stature where I can for very very short periods of time I can increase my size. So if I can see over the trees, I'll look for maybe smoke from cook fires, or if it's dark enough, then light being cast up on the treetops from like some kind of an encampment.
Okay. So we got Tobor, and we got Soren trying to track down the missing sister. We got the witch's minion trying to hide where the sister is and the path to getting to her.
Actually, I'll throw one out there too, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah.
Knowing that this kid just like had a hissy fit over being taken, and reasons suggest the other kid would also be throwing a hissy fit, I'm gonna try and listen for other
Crying children
having a hissy fit.
Okay. All right. Dorian, you want to help with this? You're just going to let everyone else. That's totally fine. I'll take that as that's totally fine. So who's spending trust?
I'll spend some trust on Finnegan.
Okay. Tobor is spending with Finnegan. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm going to roll for the witch's minion. And then Tobor and Finnegan, you add your dice together. Grimbeard, you roll your die and take the higher. I got a 3.
I got another 3. All 3s.
Ooh. Okay,
Yeah,
so we
I
have
got
a
a 1.
0 and we have
That's
a
0.
3.
That's right.
Right? Because you took a no, not a 3. A 5. Right? 3 plus 3 minus 1 is 5. And I got 3. So you're up 2. This is a mixed success. So I'll let Rebel or 10 Rabbit Bears, you guys decide who gets to narrate. So a mixed success means you get what you were looking for, but your opponent gets a little bit of what they wanted, or you can take damage. Take a wound. Yeah.
I think during this time, I would find the obvious tattered piece of article of clothing on a branch or over a brush, and I would look over to Finnegan, and not remembering like the time of day. If it's like becoming night, my volume would still be about the same because I'm thinking that he's farther away than he probably is. He's probably really close. So I would look back and I would say at my normal volume, which is fairly boisterous because, robotic sounds and such. I would tell Finnegan, I have found a piece of clothing upon this brush. It seems that they were heading in this direction. More data must be found. I must construct additional pylon. And I would relay that to, within, like, it's not like I'm being hushed about it, so it's pretty obvious. And that is what I believe is happening.
All right. So just sum it up for me. You found
I
girl?
have found like a child's piece of like
of clothing. Okay.
ripped clothing. Yes.
Okay. So we're on the scent, but we haven't found the witch's minion yet.
No.
Okay. And I'm going to say that the sun has set and it is dark now. So it's probably best that you abandon your search and set up camp. We're going to take a little pause
Hey, who
and
turned out the lights?
reevaluate our trust. Does anyone need a break? Are you ready to go?
I'm good right now.
Yeah?
I'm at like I'm actually enjoying this. This is kind of interesting. I've never seen this happen. It was like and when you explained this, like you narrate your own encounters, that's really dope. Because in my mind, I'm playing a whole movie going on right now, and I'm just like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
right?
this is why I wish like that we could actually like show this, like what's happening in the cinema in our head to people, because it would be pretty freaking awesome.
That's
It
a
would
Tailspire
be.
board where everyone's the GM.
God, I remember that game.
I have a little experience with that.
Oops.
But
Yeah.
I'm
That was a fun
enjoying
name.
this.
Yeah, while we're
I-
riffing, any other thoughts on the game so far?
I like it.
I like it a lot.
This is I feel like this is a good way to introduce people into how to become a dungeon master.
Mm.
So this is
Definitely.
something that this is something we're gonna have to talk about during the next Between the Beards.
Oh yeah, for certain. Definitely DM's training wheels. It's what it really is. And it's awesome. I love it. And it's like you don't have to be a dice goblin to do this. You just roll D6s all day. And I think when it comes down to like the mechanics part, that's where like I don't know a lot of it, but Celeste, you're doing an amazing job telling us like mixed or good encounter, chapter wounds, and all that stuff. It's like you're very good at the descriptors of what's happening, and I love that.
you. Thank you. That's my major job.
Yeah, right.
I really enjoy the aspect of building off of each other.
Mhm.
Like if you want a greater success, people help by rolling another d6 and everything like that. Or we haven't gotten into it yet, but when we want someone to fail, we can do that, and that's like an exciting aspect.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. And hint to the viewers, I have a extension down below in the about section where you can roll a die and influence the outcome should you want.
Nice.
Yeah. You're gonna have to say yes, you agree to using an experimental extension because I literally just pushed it out for development testing. So, but
I'm gonna have to buy a lot of bits.
I'm only charging 1 bit. If you want to help yourself, if you want to help the wish, it's 10, a whole 10
Yeah, I know.
cents.
Worth.
Yeah.
I wanted to see this party go down. 10 bits, let's go.
As Soren would say, burn it all.
Ah, all right, cult of personality, chill out.
I saw that in chat.
Yeah, it's funny because like we have the sidebar here in Discord, and like we have like our stuff. Like obviously, like the whole thing was like I didn't do fucking shit. It's like I'm just over here collecting data as Tobor, and then I just look over at chat, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I mean, TRB's right. He's very right.
Yep. Everywhere you go. It's not a criticism. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm having
I got
fun.
nothing for you.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Just playing the
It's not
playing
a
the Shiro card like every time. That's it.
Someone has to be the Chaos Goblin in every party.
I mean, right. Everyone's got it. Every group's got that one.
And I'm not
Yep.
really sure yet if it's oh my god. I'm trying to do characters.
Dorian.
If it's Dorian or Soren yet. I'm not 100% certain.
Also, Rebel, did you not get the memo that we're all naming our characters vowel, like ending in like an N sound?
I know.
Also, have you not seen my latest meme is reading is a war crime? So
Yeah, I did see that.
to answer your question.
Yep.
I am ascended dwarf, but you're lucky I didn't play a fucking dwarf, all right? Give me credit for jumping out of my skin, like
That's
literal potato-esque beard skin, and playing a warforged.
That's very true.
As long as I don't have to play a human, I'm happy.
I
If
write
something-
anything but human. Fuck humans.
Well,
if
I
any
usually
other
only play
race-
human.
I like humans.
Yep,
If the only reason I want to play one is because I want to feed it first level.
exactly. Exactly. I love
That's the
having that
only
feat.
reason.
I mean, that's
Man,
why
my
they gave the
system,
first
you just
level
get
feat.
one.
Come on.
Yeah. And that's why in my system, I just gave them to everybody.
Yep.
But then why
Everyone
would
gets
you
one
be
the
a
first level.
human?
Right? No, they get other advantages. But
Okay.
Yeah, see, I always pick variant human so I could start off with 3 feet.
I'd like to sprout an extra arm, please. Makes my job 10 times easier.
You can just
Oh,
make one,
actually,
right?
Yeah.
it would make it 33% easier, actually. But, you know.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
It is rules time. So what happens now
Rules.
is all of your trust refreshes. So any trust you spent comes back, and your chapter wounds heal. So no more negative ones until you take some more. And now we go around the table and reevaluate your trust. So I've been starting with 10 rabbit bears, so we'll start with you again. You can increase the trust you have given to someone by 1 or decrease it by any amount. So for the viewers right now, all the trust is symmetrical. You can see we got 10 rabbit bears. He trusts Dorian 2. Dorian trusts him back 2. But that might not continue. Yeah.
I think that Finn trusts Tobor a little bit more, if that's possible. As we've both been kind of aligned in kind of doing relatively good things. Dorian and Soren are not far behind in that respect. Well, Soren obviously would be the lower one, as you know, cult and stuff. But he's still out here helping look for kids, so I got to give him credit where credit's due.
Okay.
But I still think Tobor would get the cake.
Okay. Well, you get to give out as much trust as you want.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can give 1 to Tobor. You can give 1 extra to Soren. You can't give Tobor 2 extra.
right. Okay.
Right? And then you
Yeah.
could drop your trust that you've given out all the way to 0 for someone if you want.
I think everybody's proven that they're trustworthy to me at this point.
Okay. Okay. Everyone has gone up 1. Alrighty. So Soren, Grimbeard,
So Soren doesn't really give out trust very easily.
So you don't
kind of-
have to. You can give out 0.
Right. Yep. I'm actually just I'm kind of just like that's more just like flavor text, I guess. But yeah, Soren is. Trust doesn't come easy for him as it ever stuff and he just kind of trusts in his own power. He doesn't really know how he feels about Dorian. Dorian's a
hype,
little yeah, it's the hype. I think it's the hype that kind of like maybe a little bit it kind of like it gave him a little bit it put him on edge. It kind of if Soren had hackles, it'd put him on edge a little bit. So I think he's gonna lose 1 trust point.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, you don't like your own hype, man? That's wrong.
No, because most people just accept and join. Throw their strength of arms in. But this guy is just talking me up really energetically and inaccurately. while endearing, it kind of makes Soren a little weary.
Okay.
Or wary.
Okay. Any other trust changes you want to do?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to Rebel. Tobor.
Tobor would definitely put at least more trust into Finnegan. Obviously, again, kind of the same thing as TRB had said. We kind of align on a lot of things. I would give 1 trust to Soren, although he doesn't really appreciate like the bolsterous and the more like brutal way of achieving goals, but they still meet the goal at the end of it, right? No matter how the means are, you're still getting to the end goal. I can't say that there's much trust for Dorian, but and it's like nothing like that. It's just like there's been nothing to prove. Like like I agree with what Soren said. Like he's out here saying, yeah, he's great, and completely blowing it out of proportion. But he is out here searching, so I would give a trust to Dorian as well.
Okay. Everyone gets +1 trust. Nice. And my button didn't work. There we go. Okay. Dorian, your turn. What trust do you want to give out or take away?
Okay. First off, Dorian's going to take 1 trust away from Soren because he's afraid at any point in time, if he says the wrong thing again, he's going to get eaten. So he's like watching this guy, and he looked at those wrists and went, my God, if I just say the wrong thing again, those are going to be my neck. So he trusts Soren a little bit left because he's like, even though his talks really calm, he seems like the person that will just go off the handle at a moment's notice.
Soren will accept the outcome, but he's going to take a log out of the campfire and eat it. Say, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh,
that makes him even more terrified. He's like, oh, he'll just kill me for fun. Okay, this is cool. Tobor and Finnegan, he does not even understand what they're saying half the time. He's just like, yes, okay. But he will give a point of trust towards Finnegan because he was the first one to speak up about helping the kids, and Dorian likes to help kids.
also, you might want to check out your shoulder. It's probably like 4th degree burns by now.
Oh, yeah. No, that was part of the non-trust. He held that hand there a little bit longer than he needed to.
Right? Oh, God.
I love it.
It's a test of grit. I mean, you passed.
Yeah, so one more trust to Finnegan, -1 to Soren.
Okay,
And then Tobor, I
nice.
just don't understand yet, so I can't trust him anymore.
Oh, so going to 0, you can't trust him anymore, or you're not going to give him any more?
Meaning gaining no more trust because I still haven't figured him out yet.
Got it. So it stays
Is he
where
an
it
actual
is.
man or no?
Seems very robotic to me. Okay, so Eternal Shadows, you asked, did I update Finn's thought he trusted Soren +1. So this is where things get a little slightly confusing. When Finn gives Soren a trust, Soren is allowed to spend it, so it's recorded next to Soren's face under the Finnegan line. It was 0 before, so because Finn trusts Soren, Soren gets points to spend to help or to betray Finnegan with.
Actually, I think an easy way to kind of describe it, and you can tell me if I'm doing this wrong, but what you see, so let's look at my character. What you see next to me is a currency that everyone has on me.
No,
Right?
what's next to you is the currency you have on everyone else.
On them.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you
Yeah,
have.
So that's not.
Yeah.
I'll let you. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So what you see here is next to Soren's face, Soren has 1 trust point given to him by Finnegan that he can spend to help or to betray Finnegan with. This is the trust from Finnegan. And then the trust from Dorian and the trust from Tobor. It represents how much trust has been placed in you. And you get to spend that trust for good
it's
or
not
ill.
your trust in those characters; it's their trust,
Trust
in
in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. So trusted by Soren is trusted by Finnegan at 1, trusted by Dorian at 1, trusted by
And now
Tobor
you-
at 3.
And now you, as the character, would spend that currency, not theirs. You would
Yes.
spend the one next to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to look at it is imagine Soren was coming up behind Dorian's back, right? He only has so much. I only have so much trust in him that I will allow him to do that so many times.
Good way to put it.
Good way
That
to
number
put
is
it.
1.
And that in one time.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. And I would like to also encourage you to spend trust more liberally because you get it all back. And I'm trying to do it so that we reevaluate trust twice per session.
Betrayal, got it.
Now that
Yeah,
I have
so-
a better idea on how it works too, I'll be more willing to spend it.
Yes.
So-
Understood.
Now, I guess here's a question. So let's say from chapter to chapter. So right
Yes.
now we're going to start the chapter with these numbers.
Yes.
At the start of the next chapter, does it go back to the original trust levels, or does it come back to these numbers where they're at now?
It comes back to these numbers where it's at now.
Okay, cool.
And then you can build upon that or take away from it.
I love that. That's kind of like an
So, like
evolving
the-
thing through the game.
Yeah.
Yep. I like
Max
that.
Basically keeps changing. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah, and I like it that it makes it more persistent. It's not like we keep reverting back to the original trust. Like it keeps
Right.
building chapter by chapter. So,
Yep.
okay.
I
yeah.
like that.
Yep.
Okay. And just to make sure, okay, I have a fancy little Stream Deck automation I set up to make this happen, but I took a screenshot in case it breaks.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump back in seeing if everyone is ready for that.
Yeah.
Let me know if anyone needs a break or anything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna camp for the night. I'm gonna set the mood with a little background here. We got nighttime campsite. There we go. And
Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
right, so we're gonna do the standard thing where everyone takes a watch unless someone wants to argue me out of it. And I'm gonna ask you all pick an order, and also I'm gonna give you the opportunity to set your own nighttime scene, which may be related to your fate. Could be a flashback scene if you want, or if you don't want, I got a pocket full of things to throw at you in the night.
Pocket full of sunshine.
Pocket sand.
Everyone at the same time. Get out of my brain, bro.
I know who you are, boy, because you're me.
Yeah, right. No. I'm okay with watches.
Yeah, that works.
Dorian
I'll
would
make this
want
in my case.
to do the first watch because he hates getting woken up. So
Okay.
Fair enough.
Dora will do the first watch.
Yep.
Okay, Finnegan's number 2. I saw a hand
Yeah,
gesture.
everyone's cool with that.
I'll take last since
Last.
4/4 technically don't need sleep, but meditation's fine. So
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Soren, you're
Soren's on third.
second to last. Okay.
Mhm.
So Let's start with Dorian. Do you have a scene that you would like to set?
Dorian's going to be kind of doing that thing where he's trying to remember every face and article of clothing that he's seen today, just trying to remember if it matches anything from his past. Should he be worried? Should he be concerned? And then as he's going through that, he remembers the scene where Tobor was saying his speech to the body, the person that he said he tried to help change. And he's almost upset about this speech because he just doesn't know Tobor enough to know if he actually knows anything he's talking about or anything like that. So he keeps playing through his brain and kind of mumbling to himself, like, doesn't understand a circumstance. He doesn't understand change. Like, what has he been through? And he goes over and over and over, kind of trying to talk himself out of the fact that people can change.
People can't change. Interesting. Anything else?
Other than that, no, not too much. He looks over his companions just kind of from a distance and then tries to keep an eye out the best he can. But I would say he's probably heavily distracted because he's that's really what Tobor said during the day is really bothering him.
All right. So, Dorian, your watch ends. You wake up Finnegan. So, Time Albert Bears, do you have a scene you would like to set in the night?
I have a question first.
Yes.
Did we bring the kid with us?
Yes, the kid is here.
Is
I mean,
the
well,
kid
I
sleeping?
presumed you were bringing the kid with you.
That's yeah, that was my intention as well.
Anyone want to
double
argue
checking.
with that? Okay.
Is the kid sleeping well during the night?
The kid is sleeping well.
Okay. Finn, I was gonna say Syndrome. I'm so used to so used to saying. Finn would kind of take up a position against possibly like a tree or something, kind of closer towards the kid, to kind of keep a close eye on everything, but also in case something happened. And he would probably trying to think of how to word this. He would be listening for a sense of listening to kind of just the night air and critters and things, trying to get a sense of calm and peace with the day's events and everything. As there were a few things that kind of worried him, but there's always something nice about the echoes through the night that he likes.
All right. Anything else you want to happen?
Nope.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, your watch has ended. You awaken Soren. Do you have a scene you want to set Grimbeard in the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Soren, while he's on watch, spends his time actually the same way that he's been spending most of his nights lately, up late, contemplating kind of the path that's the winding road that's gotten him here to this point. Idly staring out into the darkness, listening for anything that might sneak up on them, kind of a little bit of like legerdemain with like a small comet of red and black fire as it kind of like an idle, like an idle tool that he uses to help keep his thoughts organized. And like I said, he thinks about the road that brought him here, the warriors that he's killed in the past, what he's lost and unexpectedly found once again, and what's really been keeping him up at night is the price of power and how it weighs on him.
The price of power. All right. Anything else?
That'll do it.
All right. You awaken Tobor for his watch.
His fidget flame.
His fidget flame, right?
I'm so glad you saw that.
All right. Rebel, do you have a scene you want to set?
Sure.
Okay.
During the peaceful night, I assume the moon is out whatever phase it's in. Stars are pretty well lit. We're kind of away from all the light pollution of the nearest town. Tobor would gaze up at the stars and remember his teachings from his master and try to find inner peace as he goes into like his watch, understanding that there is a lot at stake to complete the mission, to completely, ascertain what he believes is right. And just reflecting on the good times he's had with his master while training to become his successor.
All right. So, Tobor, you don't have to wake anyone up. It's the morning. And Soren, as you're getting ready for the morning, you notice something is missing from your belongings. You were very sure that it was there when you went to sleep and woke up Tobor. What is missing, and what are you going to do about it?
Soren, upon finding a kind of I wouldn't necessarily call it a locket, but it's certainly a charm on a metal chain, finds that it is missing and roars, a bar of black flame shooting straight up into the sky from his mouth. And he awakens the party. Where is it? Where is it now? Someone will answer for this, and you will answer for it now.
You seem troubled. What is causing your discomfort?
A confused bedhead fox is staring at you. Well, in your general direction.
What's going on?
The tall one, the rotund one, seems to be in distress. Is something wrong?
Soren's a little hesitant to really get into, I guess the for lack of a better term, the sentimentalism behind what is missing, because like it's wealth is wealth. That really, I don't carry that with me. I keep that stored in like various strong houses around the realms. But this is something that is it's very dear to him. And he'll explain to the party that there was something in my pack that is not there now. A chain with a pendant on it. And his eyes will go glow a little brighter. And if any one of you I find has taken it, it will be the last thing that you ever lay your hands on.
What kind of metal was it made of? If you know.
Silver. A very special kind of silver.
I want to point out that Tobor was the last one to keep watch after you went to sleep. And it was there when you went to sleep.
You, Tobor. I've seen. He's still trying to get a hold of his rage, because he doesn't want to burn this forest down around him. I've seen your handle of the situation. I've seen your supposed moral compass. I cannot believe that you are the one that took this, but I am hesitant to believe that you didn't see something on your watch.
Your claims are outlandish. I have no need for material possessions. Although there was rustling throughout the night, maybe, possibly, small rodents had crawled into your pack and made off with your material possessions. Such curiosities, more data must be gathered. Feel free to search my person, for I only carry that which is on me. Material possessions are of no consequence to me.
That Soren actually believes.
Ooh.
Where's the
Well,
small child?
The small child's still asleep.
Doubt.
Right away, Dorian, just because
She's a
he
heavy
is the
sleeper.
person he is going to go and look over where the small child is and see if he can find this amulet. Well, whatever, like find something of value on him. Because the kid had like nothing on him when we found him, right?
No.
Okay, I'll kind of look over once this child just to make sure there's nothing of value on them.
Ooh, okay. That's,
And while they were chatting, to throw another thing out there, now knowing what it's made of, and knowing that different materials resonate at different frequencies, Finn is actually going to try and like tune them out and kind of listen around to see if he can hear any movement of that chain or the medallion.
okay. Anyone else doing something?
Soren's rampaging a little bit. So he punches the boulder and like kind of like a flare of black flame just erupts from like between his fist and the stone. But he will actually kind of heed Tobor's words after a moment and start kind of like he's keeping an eye on Finnegan and Dorian, but he's looking around for like signs of activity around the camp.
Okay, so Dorian, you're rifling through the, searching the kid. Finnegan, you are listening intently.
Yep.
Tobor, what are you doing? Just
I'm just
watching-
trying to calm. I'm just trying to calm the raging turtle down.
oh,
With like actual logical sense.
Okay.
In like the most non like
okay,
upscaling or downscaling
okay.
monotone
Mm,
binary language I can.
Okay.
And it's going to be kind of droll, almost like death by PowerPoint in verbal form. So,
Customer
10, 0,
service.
1, 1,
Yeah.
I'm very
1,
sorry
0,
you're
0, 0.
experiencing that, sir.
exactly.
How
'Cause
can I
am
fix this
personally
today?
emotionally invested in this. Okay, so
Have you tried
Grim,
turning it on and off again?
do you want Soren to want to calm down or to be overcome by his more base emotions and stay enraged?
I would want him to kind of calm. I wouldn't want him to go like full tilt. I would want him to come down because at this point, Tobor would know that a calm mind is a clear mind to understand that the goal is to our objective has to be met at a certain criteria.
Okay.
Having over out of control emotions can cloud judgments and then leads to wild accusations, which is not cohesive to of even this ragtag formed party. A cohesive unit has
okay.
to have a sense of like level-headedness.
Okay. Are you gonna go along with that, Grim? Or do you want to roll off to stay mad?
I would like to punch the rock until it cracks in half, but I will actually kind of start listening a little bit more to Tobor. Like
okay.
once the rock is done.
Well, I'm going to interrupt. You don't have time to calm down. Finn, you hear not the sound of silver chains, but you hear the sounds of bows and arrows being drawn, and you see a fey creature, not quite an elf, definitely not a human, something that is mysterious and magic touch that you've never quite seen before, steps out of the forest, approaches your camp. with them is the older sister, hands bound. The fey creature addresses you all. I think you've come looking for this girl. The witch has claimed her. I will not let you take her. You will leave this forest, or we will attack you. The witch is powerful. We know where you're headed. We will not chase you if you go there, for we are indebted to the witch, and we must pay with children. We have no quarrel with you unless you quarrel with us.
Finn, hearing them coming, stands, has his sword at his side, and kind of, as that starts, he listens, lets them get there. He's thinking in his head, he's like, the bad guy's always monologue. Always, every time.
I love it.
And then...
Gotta set the motivation.
I love it.
Mm.
And he, before inevitably somebody goes and just burns them all down into a crisp.
Somebody?
Clock's
I'm
ticking.
leaving it open. Yeah. He says, "You say the witch is powerful. Yet I believe we are too." And then he's gonna take away their hearing, intentionally to throw off their equilibrium, so
Okay.
that they have a harder time standing and balancing anything. And then he's
Okay.
gonna let Soren burn them down.
Okay. So Finn is going to attack the fey creatures with, what's your intent? Like, do you want
My
to
intention-
incapacitate them so you can capture them? You want to drive them off? You want to rescue the child? What do you want to do?
My intention
goal.
is to make... My goal is to make it easier for those who actually will probably have a better time at dealing with them.
Okay, so
deal with
we'll
them.
come back around to you after
Yep.
the assumed Soren bursts into flaming anger to attack these interlopers. So to you, Soren, what do you want to do and what is your goal?
I'm going to help Finnegan. And this is going to kind of come in the form of as soon as they come into the circle and start talking. Like, they're able to get their sentence out, but the flames burn bright in my eyes, and I ball up this sun of black flame in my mouth, and I roar straight at the Fae. And I'm hoping that using that as a help action for Finnegan will actually kind of assist in throwing them off their balance, so that when that bar of black flame does erupt, it'll be easier to hit.
Okay, so you're like trying to help each other, but we need a goal for the scene. So the fey creatures want you to leave the forest and leave the older sister behind, and they don't care about the other child.
Sounds like the goal so far, at least. I'm not going to speak for our other two party members, is to take them out.
Okay. You want to kill them.
My
Okay.
goal is
Yeah.
to burn.
To burn them. Okay. Okay. Here, let's give them names. We got Sarah the child, and we got
Except just not the kid.
Olenor, the older sister.
Yeah, that.
Just, I'm
Maybe.
clarifying.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tobor, what are
Mhm.
you doing? And Dorian, are you getting involved?
I know the like fey creatures are usually of their own they have their own motives. Even if they are of subservient to something, they still have their own motives. So in just listening to them go off, I would assume that they are really just pawns. They mean no harm to me personally, but harm to other life is sacred. Even if it is like all life is sacred, you're choosing to harm another life. So at this point, I would help Soren to justify those means. And I would activate my spirit guardians to assist him, almost like just a bless. So I throw one trust towards Soren in his action.
All right, Dorian.
Yeah, I see what Finnegan did. Like, he sees the phase kind of going, tilting off, being a little bit odd. He's going to use his ability to create a duplicate of himself and create another distraction of just a stupid little gnome. He hides with the child behind the tree, but his duplicate runs toward the Fae, going, ah, to like get all of their attention to kill this stupid little gnome. Because if you can kill someone, you're gonna do it. So I'm gonna help Finnegan by creating more distractions so they don't right away pinpoint focus on Soren, so he can just wreck these people.
Okay, so we have left 3 Fae versus you guys. So who all spending trust? We got.
I will.
Okay, and we're
Yeah.
all spending it
go up.
on Wait, we can't all spend trust. One person has to lead. So Soren's
I
leading.
Yeah,
I think
Soren's leading.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're all doing stuff so Soren can wreck them.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Finnegan, you don't have any trust from Soren to spend.
That's true. Right.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you,
so I
would
was.
you like
I guess
to?
I was trying to help Finnegan by like hoping that the moment that their disorientation hits, I would assist that disorientation with the sight, like the impending doom, like when they see the black flame starting to well up.
Okay. So
So
Soren.
that was my first.
So were you trying to all make them
Action.
run off?
What Soren and Finnegan seem to want to kill the Fey leader, and you seem to make them want to run off. Like I'm going to put my rules lawyer hat on because I'm the GM. You can't. You can only pair up with trust. You can't
Right.
triple up.
If that's the case, then I will take mine out from helping Soren to looking over and seeing Dorian trying to assist in his way, but at the same time, to me, it's kind of funny that someone who bolsters so much about their own titles as they are still valiant in the face of adversity. So
Okay.
I throw a trust towards
Okay.
Dorian.
Okay. Tobor will spend on Dorian, and Soren will spend on Finnegan. And there's 3 Fae, and the Soren Finnegan group is going to try to kill the lead Fae. You're going to need a 3 or better. The Dorian Tobor group is going to try to drive all the Fae away. The Fae are going to try to get you all to leave with or without the little kid. All right.
Hey.
Let's roll. The Fae have a 4.
I got a 4.
I got 4.
I got a 2.
So that's a 6.
We don't have injury. Our chapter injuries are
Your
healed up?
injuries are healed.
Okay.
Okay, so this Soren Finnegan group has a 6. So you're up 2. Dorian Tobor,
I got
Would
a
you-
5.
5 plus a 3,
4. I got a 4.
4. So that's a 9. So I got a 4. You're up 5. Double success. That means you get to drive them off. Plus, you get something else you want that you didn't even say at the beginning.
Nice.
Go for it. Which could also be killing the leader, because a single success is a 3.
So Dorian just full blown. Himself is behind the tree, right? He's hiding with the other small child, but his illusion just pulls out his little small rapier, going, "Ah, the savior of Luminous will slay you all. Fey mean nothing beside him and his companions." God! He just looks like a rabbiting from the mouth, just like hair frazzled, looks like a rabid creature. And as they all run, he sees that a parchment falls from the main Fae as they all run away in fear. And the actual one, you all see appear behind the tree just waving, and then points at the piece of the paper.
Okay,
I think
so You drove them
also
off. You want to
Yeah.
add to that, Tilbor?
I think during this time, like it's more of like curiosity that piques as he looks over and he sees what he believes is Dorian, but upon further investigation, seeing the actual Dorian behind the tree, he would go into like a small little note to make in his mind. Although cowardice is shown physically, internally, he is braver than most. Noted.
Okay.
Data collected. Data observed.
So I might have missed what the double success was. So you could save the older sister. You could
Yeah,
kill the.
that's where I was about to say. If everyone's cool with that, I was gonna
Well,
say.
it's
Yeah.
up to Dorian. He was the high roller.
Well, I assume. Well, sorry. If they're gonna run off with the Fae, then the double success would be that they leave the sister behind. Yes.
Oh,
And
right.
Finn would go right over the moment that that's safe to do so, and kind of cut the bindings.
Okay. How common do you want fox people to be?
Let's see. How about evens common, odds uncommon?
Okay.
There you go.
I don't,
like it.
I don't know. go pretty
Evens.
common.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have. It was a nightmare. My sister and I we were traveling along the road, and these creatures came out of nowhere and ran off with me. I was able to put up a fight, and they left her behind. Thank you for reuniting us. How can we repay you?
Friendship's cadence is a delicate balance of shared echoes, creating a harmonious bond. You and your sister share that bond. Just, we'll get you to town. As long as the two of you are together and happy, I'm content.
Thank you. Was she able to tell you were heading to Beywich?
That was mentioned, yes.
Thank you. It's quite a ways off. We probably won't make it until evening. You will let us travel with you?
I believe we have to go through there anyway, yes? Kind of motioning to whoever's nearby. Because he can't see the map, so he doesn't know.
Well, we don't want Soren to touch the map. He'll probably burn it. So it'll probably be myself who's having the map out. So yes, it would seem.
Rapscallions were going to take you to see the witch.
Yes.
Did they have a specific path? Like any whispers, rumors you heard of maybe another way to get up the mountain?
Ooh. I'm gonna throw this back at you, Grim Quests. Do you want there to be an extra path? You can make it up.
He is a coward by heart, so instead of running headlong into a fight, if he has a way to sneak around people and take them by surprise, he would prefer to do that.
So,
Yes.
this is the
So
chance
yes,
to narrate stuff. Tell us about the way.
So
Take
that
control
would be
of
where,
the girl. Go.
the little girl will tell him that the Fae were whispering and talking that while the main path up the mountain is the one that is the safest to travel because the fortress was old, there is a old sheep herding path that people used to take that has long been forgotten since the witch took over.
Does the path pick up from Beywich, or does it pick up somewhere else?
It picks up from Beywich, but instead of going along the main road, as you travel up it, you go off to the side and around. So you aren't taking the main road up to the mountain.
So, while Grim is being the girl, does anyone who isn't me want to talk to the girl?
Soren will ask if she saw any of her assailants with a tarnished silver chain with a pendant hanging from it.
You
That's right.
Make
Yep.
it up. Go for it.
I'm so used to like receiving the outcome. Yeah, in fact, so while as Soren's thinking, like he hears the conversation about the like the shepherd's path, and he's thinking to himself, "Not me. I go forward. I don't sneak around. A dragon doesn't skulk." But then he thinks better of himself, and he asks if the Fae took the pendant, and the girl says, "Yes, one of them was playing with it as if it had some kind of sentimental value that it could feed off of." And now Soren's thinking to himself, maybe that'll be the if I can pursue the those that took it, then that might be the path that I have to take.
Are you saying that aloud?
Yeah, that's kind of like, again, with my fidget flame, just kind of mulling it over, like maybe it doesn't have to be sneaking if I am pursuing an enemy.
Okay, so it sounds like Soren wants to charge off after the Fae to recover the locket. And Dorian wants to travel to Beywich and not straight up the mountain. Tobor. Finnegan.
I should point out that I'm assuming in this case that the Fae would fall back on that shepherd's path. Like that would basically be their path up the mountain to
Different
report.
reason, same path.
Yeah, pretty much. They'll be going that way to report their failings.
Okay.
employees only entrance.
I was trying to split the
That's
party.
it, yep.
And what are you doing, man?
Oh, sorry. I'll do it.
Don't worry. I'll have plenty of chances later.
Discourse.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Not gonna
my
lie.
job.
If you had taken the narrative and said that they did not find, or they didn't have the pendant, then I would have split. I would have gone straight up the main path.
Oh, okay. Well, you get to decide. It's your pendant.
I said what I said. Well, I'll stick to it.
Stick to your guns, Dragon Boy.
A dragon doesn't back down.
Right.
Okay.
That includes when I say something stupid.
All right. Tobor and Finnegan. Any
as long as the kids are together and get to Baywatch, he doesn't care which way we go up the mountain.
Alrighty.
Yep, I agree the same way.
Okay.
All roads will lead to the just end. Some may think they're going there faster than others, but we all reach the end goal at the same time.
All roads lead to Beywich. Alrighty.
Oh, actually, if you two want to go to Beywich, we'll follow the trail of the Fae, because it might be a really hidden path, and we can try and hunt it down quicker. If we find it, we'll come back and meet you.
Doesn't it branch off of Beywich? Isn't that what you guys just said?
Find a different path.
Retcon.
I'm not retconning. I'm just saying we're gonna follow the Fae to that path. They're probably not going through Beywich.
Follow the Fae through the forest to Beywich, not down the road. Ooh.
Follow the Fae through the forest to Beywich.
So if you two want to go drop off the sisters and see, because you're very heavily invested in this, I'll help him get his pendant back, because I kind of felt like he blamed me for a moment there. He kind of like looked at me when he was smashing that rock. I want to prove that I didn't take it.
I mean, obviously at this point. Oh, what's it? Go ahead.
I would say Dorian was like, it would seem that you would miss out on your chance to claim fame and, reputation across this region for returning children to their homes.
My God, you're right. And he grabs out a piece of paper. This task was completed by Dorian Farm, the ground savior of Luminous, him single-handedly. And he writes this little mini storybook and goes, there you go. You can drop that off with them.
Just hands it to the girl. Do you validate?
Do you validate recipes?
Do you publish books?
No, but
No,
I
but my ass is a
mean-
printer.
I could tell someone the story. I'll definitely tell Sari at night. I'll remind her that you saved us, or at least me, from the evil elves.
Other people, mostly, please.
Other people, like grown-ups?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Dorian, are you saying that you're going to let a monk and a blind man walk by themselves down the road to town?
All we're missing is a priest, and we got a good story there. But
That's
that's what I
true.
thought.
Okay.
If you all want to travel together, we can. But
Well, I feel like
he
we
points
have,
at.
we have a goal to accomplish. And if we all still need to go that way to accomplish our collective goal.
I leave this as Soren. He seemed really upset, so I was trying to help him get his pendant back as soon as
No,
possible.
I agree.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna roll with something real quick. And okay.
Leaving it to fate. Okay,
Yeah. So
Sometimes that's the best way.
where are we headed?
Soren's been pacing around camp, kind of like really trying to decide like what he's doing, and he takes kind of an appraising look at Dorian, but he thinks to himself that they are. I mean, the company has a higher purpose. We have a job to do. If we if we get to the witch's fortress, we may find the Fae up there. And
My thoughts exactly.
especially with the display that I put on when the Fae were here, they may be long gone at this point. Who knows what kind of trickery they have escaping through the forest. So Soren reluctantly backs down from going off and chasing after what could be a fool's errand.
If it's a valuable piece, it's more likely it would get brought to their master.
It was valuable for a very long time, but it recently lost some of its shimmer when I found something better. It's tough to let go of something that I carried with so much weight for so long, but if I can find it, if it comes back to me again, then so be it.
As shadows cast by the sun, echoes of the past shape and contour our destiny. Perhaps you'll find more.
I found my treasure. I just need to find a way to keep it.
All right, so we headed down the road. Are we going through the forest to track down the Fae, or are we splitting up?
They all said they want to go down the road. If Soren's going down the road, I will follow suit, and it gives me a lot more time to practice my tail when we get to town.
All right. Okay, so as you travel down the road, you come to the Traveler's Rest, the inn on the side of the road between Asai and Beywich. The path usually takes 2 days. People sleep here before continuing on. You guys slept in the woods, so it is mid-morning when you arrive. You are greeted by a barmaid, and she welcomes you in. Notices you are with some children. Gives a little bit of a quizzical look. Such a odd band to be traveling with children.
I can hear your judgment.
I didn't say anything. Well, come on in. Everyone is welcome at the Traveler's Rest. We have food. We're serving lunch, stewed meat and carrots today. And brown bread. If you don't like that, that's the only food we got. We have ale and wine. If you're looking for that, only water for the kids. And are you planning to spend the night with us? Because then I'll get a few rooms ready for you. And you notice that the it's not as busy as one might expect for pretty much the only amenities along the road to the next town.
Could be turnover hour.
Could be.
So who's having
I
what?
don't think just a high in fiber lunch and then continue on, or do we want to stay?
I could use a bite. Something prepared. Not something, not whatever refuse I find on the ground from traveling.
And you said no matter what we do, we will not make it to the next town before nightfall, right?
You will not make it to the next town before. Right. Well, I mean, you could sleep here and then make it to the next town.
That's what I mean. Though, if we stop here but still book it for the rest of the day, there's no way to make it to the next town before nightfall.
Yes.
Okay.
If you putting on my speed of plot hat, you will arrive at the next town at nightfall.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you decide to stop or not, because I call them bangs. My next bang involves it being night when you get there. Yeah.
Quick bite and goes for me.
That'll do.
Kids?
Are we
the kids are hungry.
We could feed them.
It's good that we feed them.
Yeah. So the barmaid sets the table for you. You know, I mean, as you probably noticed, it's not very busy here these days. Our little inn has gotten a reputation for being haunted, and I believe it. There are ghosts here at night, and they have. I mean, they're ghosts, unfinished business. It would be really nice if someone could, I don't know, like, get rid of the ghosts for us.
I will let people know the next town over.
John and Sarah sitting at the next table over. I mean, they say it's a lovely place. They've been coming here for what, 200 years? I think I heard them say. I don't know what the problem is.
This isn't exactly in my wheelhouse. I can burn this place to the ground.
I would very much appreciate you not burning this to the ground.
John and Sarah don't like that plan either.
Then do you have anything stronger than this ale?
I got 2 ales.
It'll do.
She brings you a second one. You know, this only started happening recently. We haven't always been a haunted inn. You know, once I started hearing stories about the witch taking up residence in the fortress on top of Mountain of Shadows, that's when the ghosts started coming.
Well, you can tell the ghosts. We are tasked with dealing with the witch so they can go back and possess that castle as much as they want after we're done up there. He'll yell it at the room. Ghost, you hear that? We're going to take care of it, and as soon as that witch is dead, you go back from whence you came.
He's laughing at something that clearly nobody heard.
I think someone can hear the ghosts.
I don't know if he actually can, but it's funny to me, so he's going with it.
Soren laughs along because he thinks he should.
404 file not found.
Dorian's a little bit deflated.
Installing humor.exe corrupted file.
It sounds like it says here you might have network connectivity issues.
Okay. You how about you can stay the night for free if you'd like at least just talk to the ghosts.
I just did.
They're not. They come at night. Ghosts don't like the day.
It doesn't mean they're not here.
Okay, well, I can't see them. I can't hear them. But at night I can.
What do they sound like?
Ghosts? They make
What?
creepy, spooky noises.
Are they mean to you? Do they hurt your feelings? What
No,
what is a ghost going to do?
They mostly bang things, break plates, smash cups, scare away paying customers.
Sticks and bones, maybe. Sorry.
Did I mention the paying customers?
That's certainly a problem.
Yeah. She walks
better
away in a
cupboards.
huff.
Like a bat
Soren will
tracing-
call after
Sorry.
her. Soren will call after her. Just get better cupboards. Put a sign out front and make it an attraction.
The question is,
Turning a negative into a positive. I like it.
can she not see the ghosts? Is like she sees the blankets rising up and is like an invisible man sleeping in her bed.
Are you
you
asking
gonna call?
me, the GM? Or
Really?
asking
Who
her?
is she gonna call? Some type of Ghostbusters or something like that.
Hmm.
Clearly.
I don't know that ghosts are really in my wheelhouse. Like a bat tracing its path through the night, I follow the echoes of fate, but this is not, I think, something I'm accustomed to dealing with.
I may be able to perform exorcisms, but I have yet to have to do this only because, as it is for all beings, we should at least let them pass on, tell us what their baggage is or what holds them to this place. That way we can resolve it to let them pass with ease. Unfortunately, I haven't had to use this for this ability. It's not even really an ability. I'd say this
Skill.
skill. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Skill. For most of them, this is the way we are taught.
Mm. Okay, I'm going
Well-
to jump in here as GM. Does anyone want to encounter a ghost from their past that's related to their fate?
No, not for me.
Okay. I see
No,
two
Soren
no's.
doesn't care. Soren doesn't care.
Soren doesn't care.
He's avidly arguing that, like, while it made sense to rescue the children and to like fight the bandits chasing after the wagon, but we have to be more discerning with the people that can't help themselves. This seems like tier 0 support shit.
Yeah, and Dorian, she told the story. He's 100% believes that if we go kill the witch, this will just disappear. And honestly, she should just give us money now.
And Finn is actually still more preoccupied with making sure the kids get home safe. Well,
Okay.
to the next town safe.
Tobor.
No, not in this case. It wouldn't seem to be fitting. Again, there's only it's not really the main objective. So he knows what the main objective is, so we wouldn't waste our time, even though we've wasted our time like twice over now. But it was all in like quick succession up to this point, right? It wasn't like a fast detour. It seems like this could take a lot longer than a quick 5 seconds to fix, because we'd have
And
to
this
wait.
is something we could check in again on our way back.
Mhm.
That's
Assuming
not
we
necessarily
survive.
something. Yeah, it's not necessarily something because, like Dorian said, this may be solved just by doing our main objective.
All right. Okay. So I take that as we're not spending the night. We're going to finish our food and move on.
Yep.
We'll check in on our way back.
Checking on your way. Wonderful. So as you leave the establishment, you start walking down the road. What did I say?
No, I was laughing at the confirm helping children waste of time.
Yeah, confirm lovely children waste their time. Yeah. Finn, you notice a folded piece of paper in your pocket. It wasn't there before.
I can't read.
What are you gonna do with it?
I can't read. Is it big? Or is it like a small note, like somebody quickly like a scribble on like a post-it note kind of size?
It's like a full-on letter with like a raised wax seal that you can feel.
Okay.
You don't recognize the seal. But it is a
it's an
like-
exotic wax.
it's some exotic wax. It's got a impression in it of a skull and a compass. Hmm.
Can anyone read?
Yeah, like look at the size of that writing. You have to be. Oh, yes, I could read.
Yeah, this was just in my pocket. I didn't even have pockets until right now. I'm just kidding. No, somebody gave me pockets and then put something in them. No, I don't like to keep things in my pockets. They make too much noise. Here, can you read this for me? I assume it's not in Braille.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Braille's a thing right now.
It is not.
Dorian, we'll flip it right open and we'll read it out loud.
Okay. It says, "Be warned. There's a traitor amongst your group. I have reason to believe that one of you is working for the witch. I know not who." Do you read it aloud or to yourself?
One second. So, Soren, everything you've touched so far has burned up, right?
It's my I'm not always hot. It's kind of like so that it flares with my emotions and
So I've seen you touch stuff and not burn up.
yes.
Then he will read the note out as it is.
Reactions?
Interesting.
Seems fitting.
Yeah.
Always something to sow discourse amongst newly formed parties. This data will be archived.
When I turn around and look at the wax seal, is it just a generic wax or is it like an actual seal on it?
It's got an actual seal on it with this image of a skull and a compass.
Yeah, Dorian does his best. Like when he sees the seal, like reads over the letter, turns it over, sees the seal again, he'll kind of turn away from the party and just be like uncomfortable. But then we'll turn back to the rest of the party.
Finn says to everybody, he's like, "Look, truth, like an elusive echo, can be found carefully by deciphering the sounds of defeat. And if I were perhaps informed that my underlings failed and were thwarted by a party that hardly knows each other and has never worked together, I may try and sow discourse in that party. Or there's truth here." While he's talking, he's actually using his sound manipulation to see if anybody's heartbeats has been highly elevated since that note has been read aloud.
I would like to use one of my trust to betray him.
Ooh.
I know what he can do, right? So when the silence starts to go in, he goes and just like yells very loudly, "How dare they accuse us of being betrayal? It's the witches. How did this even get in your pocket? It's witch magic!" And he's yelling as loud as he can in this moment.
Okay. How much are you gonna spend? You can spend it all. You got 3.
Oop, I didn't hear you come through.
Yeah,
I'm going to spend 2 to double up on that.
Okay. Okay. Let's roll off.
So I roll, and I have what, like a -2 to that? Is that how
Minus
that
2.
works?
Yeah.
My rolls, that's going to be a 1 and 2. Oh, hey, it's not. That is a 3.
Ooh. Okay. You're up 3. Dorian, you get what you want. You get to block his heartbeat listening. Play it out for us.
Yeah, so there's gonna be that moment where he's kind of learned that when Finnegan goes off on a tangent, that's when he waits to hear how everybody reacts to his thing. So he lets him go off on the tangent and then just throws the paper down and just starts yelling tangencies as loud as he can, saying, "This is the witch trying to throw us off." And at one point, even walks close to Finnegan and almost yells directly in his ears, giving him like a ring, like "Ee," for a moment,
Oh, yeah, the ears are like.
trying very hard to hide it, but Dorian's being very loud.
Ooh.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Soren just kind of takes the last pull on his second ale and snorts out, "With as powerful as this witch is supposed to be, I'd be surprised if they didn't have someone in the company." Just kind of matter of factly.
Yep, certainly possible.
It is quite possible. It's also quite possible that she's trying to tear us apart because she knows we're after her.
This is also very factual. I do concur with all things said here. Yes, the witch is powerful. She may want to sow discourse amongst newly formed parties to hinder their progress, but also for her power to not reach that to be in formed party is also truly fascinating. Data is collected, data is processed.
All we know right now is we have to get these children back to Beywich, and then we can readjust from there, I think.
It is sound that we should get them back, and we should prepare ourselves for any encounters we may face along the way.
All right, I'll take that as moving on. So, you continue down the road to Beywich. The sun gets low, and as you approach, you can see you are approaching the gates of town. You can see fire spring up on the roof of one of the buildings. And you see it spring up in a garden next to another home, and then spreads to the next building and the next. The city is burning. You see people rushing out towards the gates of town, others rushing to grab water to put out some of the fires. You hear people yelling, "We're under attack! They're coming through! They have swords, they have spears, they're on horses. Get your things, get to safety."
Soren's eyes light up.
It seems that everywhere we are going, something is happening. Intriguing. Very unlikely, but intriguing that all these things are happening by mere coincidence. More analysis is needed.
Mm.
Tabor, adventures are the echoes of courage that rebound the tapestry of life. And he draws his sword and walks forward.
Oof. Okay.
He's walking the wrong way.
Yeah. No, this way.
So Finn, what are you doing with the kids?
He's going to escort them to what he's got the sword drawn in case he has to defend them, but he's going to try and escort them to a safe space, as best as he can.
Okay.
Before we get to the town, is there like any heavy brush or anything like that?
You can narrate it into existence if you need it.
Okay.
Finnegan, bringing kids into battle would be not ideal. Over here, and he like goes toward like there's a very large tree and a dense bushes all the way circular around it. If we hide them inside here, we don't have to bring them into the battle, and we can pick them up afterwards.
I'm trying to think on how to word it. Sorry.
I'll actually kind of chime in with Dorian and say, like, the gambler speaks truth. Hide them, secure them, and come forward with me. You had the right idea. We advance.
Finnegan takes a bell out of his pocket and gives it to them. If you run into trouble, ring this as loud as you can. I know it's song. And then he marches off with sword.
And as soon as Finnegan's farther away,
And if you ring that when you're not in trouble, my God, you're going to get grabbed and snatched and taken away.
he runs off with the rest of them.
Tobor
I heard
would
that.
like Tobor would kind of stand by the children and analyze the situation and kind of process it for a little bit, but then would come to the conclusion that this is the way forward, even though it is slightly hindered. Assistance is required, and he doesn't charge off. He just kind of like walks peaceably through the fires and catching up with the rest of the party.
All right. So now that we're in the burning village, what is your goal? So there are riders on horseback. Their goal is to burn the town, to terrorize the locals, to get them to abandon the village. What is your goal?
Soren's goal is primarily the riders. If anyone kind of like points out that there's fire all over and I'm kind of known for fire, I'll respond that the black flames, I can't extinguish fire with black flame. I can only corrupt it, strengthen it. I'll raise this place to the ground should I try to extinguish any of this. My best application here is violence.
Okay. Be more specific about the violence. Do you want to stop the riders? Make them go away? Do you have a bloodlust? Do you want to capture a rider to interrogate them later? What's your end goal here?
I guess I'll start with kind of either killing or incapacitating the first one that gets close enough.
Okay.
So as a group of riders kind of rides off between buildings, one turns and sees us advancing through town and starts to run us down, and I will stand before him before he can reach the company behind me.
Okay. Anyone helping Soren try to kill the first rider he can find? Anyone doing something different?
Finnegan. All right, to clarify something first. So this pretty much at any time we can just be like, yeah, this is what's happening. Like there's not like a role involved in doing that. We can like to add in those details.
Right, especially if it relates to your fate. If you want to like be like, I know this rider, he's blah blah blah, right? You
Sure.
want to introduce a character. You even like, I'm trying to prompt you a little bit. You want to like be like, on the road we encounter, bam, go for it. Yeah.
But that's only if it's relevant to our fate, not just
The,
like
the point is to give you the cover to introduce your fate. But like, if you want
okay,
to,
I'm just double checking I understand.
Yeah. Throw it into the story. Like,
Finnegan,
go for broke.
In all the in all the chaos and some like the collapsed buildings from the flames and everything, Finnegan overhears somebody trapped underneath something, kind of yelling for help, or trying to, but unable to with all the smoke and everything. So he is going to make it his goal to get that person out. Do I have to get super specific now, or do I wait till we do those resolutions?
Well, yeah, let's wait till we do the resolutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's his goal. That's what he's going to do.
Anyone else?
I think Tubor would be during the fight, he would try to incapacitate any of like the people on the ground fighting, like with pitchforks or anything like that. He would, try to like pacifistly like disarm them and like stun them, knock them out. Very non-lethal. And try to gather them up to kind of like put them in a sleeping pile because they're probably napping now because they're knocked out. And he'll come back to them kind of similar to how it happened in his last thing that he's known for, is that everyone is deemed redeemable, even these people who are setting forth fires and pillaging. But he would come up close to, I assume there's like a temple of some sort there in this
There can
town.
be now.
All right, very well. He would come up to a temple and see that the temple is actually set upon a set ablaze. He would walk into the temple and actually see it being burned. Like the holy scriptures there are um, being burned by several of these brigands, and he would stop to question them why they're burning sacred texts. And at that point, he would probably have a banter back and forth between the brigands there setting flames to sacred texts.
Okay, and what's your end outcome with I guess chastising the brigands for burning sacred objects?
As to find out who they're working for in general.
Okay.
As if it is the witch, or if it's a third, an outside entity other than our main objective.
Okay.
It could be just it could just be a random act of violence. So, that is his goal, is to understand why it's been happening.
Okay. What was that, Grim Beard?
Oh, I rolled it for Tobor. That was a Tobor die.
Oh, rolled it for Tobor. Okay. So Tobor, you get a 2 along with your roll. So Tobor is going to try to interrogate the brigands. So we gotta kill the brigands, interrogate the brigands, save a survivor. Dorian, are you helping anyone, or you got your own purpose?
Dorian will see the skull and compass on one of the riders' jackets that's raiding through town.
Ooh.
And he is going to use his ability and hold his breath really small to get really small and then just appear in front of this to get the horse to buck him off so he can incapacitate and question the man with the skull and compass uh, emblem on his chest.
Okay, I'm gonna declare that that's on the same side as Tobor. You want to interrogate
Yep.
people. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys roll together. Do you want to spend trust?
Yeah, I'm going to aid Tobor.
Okay. So Dorian will spend 1 trust for Tobor. You guys roll together. Add the 2. Thank you, Grimbeard, for trying out the extension for me. Grimbeard rolls on his own. And 10 Rabbit Bears, roll on your own. And then I have to roll for the riders. Okay, what we got here? We got Tobor 5, 6, 7, 8. We got a 10. Soren, you got a 4. 10 Rabbit Bears, you got a 4. And then what do I got? I got a 4. So 6. So Tobor and Dorian, you're up 6. Double success. So why don't you both take a scene to interrogate the person you have waylaid? I'll start off being your interlocutor, but this is your scene. You get to decide what the information reveals. Who wants to go first?
You go, Grim.
I'll let you go. I'm always talking.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mood, honestly felt. But yeah, so Tobor would come in and say, "Why are you burning sacred texts? These claim knowledge and ways to help others. Why burn such things that help aid people?"
We're here to burn everything. The witch has sent us with no purpose in mind. We care nothing for your sacred texts. They mean nothing to us. We follow the witch. We must do what he demands.
In that moment, his eyes would go from like a yellow to like red, as this is seen as a slap in the face to all things related to life and all that. Just the blatant disregard for any like value that people put into helping others with their lives. And he goes in a deeper voice octave. He would go, "Then your lives are forfeit.
Okay.
Prepare to meet your end."
Ooh.
And he takes up a defensive posture.
Okay. Let's come back to that because you guys got a double success. So I'll ask you afterwards what you want to spend that double on. And it could be killing that guy. Do you have any other questions you want to ask or facts you want to narrate into existence about the sacred texts?
No, not at this moment.
Okay.
I think after.
Okay. On to Grim Quests.
I gotta think.
I know, right?
As he scares the rider off and he gets a close look at his face, he sees that his old friend from their hometown, Tibic, and he goes, What are you all doing here? Why are you so far from home? What are you? No, this. He's just screaming at this face, and he goes, You need to run. You need to run. Points where he can see like the giant turtle in the distance. He'll kill you in an instant.
Okay. Anything else?
No, and I want the double success to go Torben for sure.
Oh, okay. So we also have Finnegan trying to rescue that person. You could spend your double success on, or you can make something up totally. But we got 1 vote for Tobor slaying a guy where he stands for blasphemy.
Blasphemous.
It's on you, Tobor.
I'm literally turning in.
You could
I'm
you could
literally
give the
turning
extra.
into a Warhammer 40k thing right
You
now.
apparently you could hand that doubles a 6 over to Finnegan and then engage that person as a follow up in fisticuffs and roll off.
Because it has to play towards our fate, correct?
That's the point.
To a point.
Take more. You can take more leeway. Like, this is going amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take the double success on this one. So as he goes into his defensive posture, the brigands would like start to run towards him with their torches and weapons. He would go to actually like disarm them, but then as soon as he disarms one, like the torch goes up and the palm goes straight to the chest,
Mm-hmm.
and all the force of his energy is forced through his hand, like 1 inch punch straight through the chest, and completely obliterates one, and like in chest, caved in, out through the back, exit wound. The rest of the brigands see this, and one collectively shits himself, and the other one is enraged and goes to fight again, and he's met with the same fate as he is disarmed, both arms broken, and both legs broken, and laying there on the ground. He actually calls for more. He's like, mercy. He actually calls for mercy, and Tobor would go, "You had your chance to seek your fate or change your alliance, but you chose your path, and I'm here to send you to your chosen fate."
Mm. Okay, so 10 rabbit bears. Clearly, that person was supposed to be someone very important to what was going on. So I will let
Possibly.
you decide, because that's how this works. Does that person succumb to the flames? Then now that's really important. Or do we presume this was just a random bystander you failed to save, and this person might show up again later?
Solid question. I feel like all right, I'm gonna take a crack at this
Okay.
in a slightly adjacent manner.
Go for it.
Because it's a no success, right? So he does not succeed. That's how that
Right. You do not
Right.
You do not succeed. You were
Right.
trying to save a person and you don't save them.
Right.
I'm just trying to point out to you
the manner of which how he doesn't succeed doesn't really matter as long as he doesn't succeed.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I wanted clarification on. Okay, so well, I forgot my character's name for a moment. Finnegan is trying to use the hot sword to cut through the debris of the house, and that doesn't end up working very well for him. So he ends up taking a step back and using sound waves to kind of push. I don't know if you've ever seen fire manipulated by sound waves, but it's really fascinating. And he's trying to push them away and shape them around the debris so that he can safely use the pressure being applied to kind of dig a hole in it. But by the time he gets through it all, since this is a much slower way, either from the burns or from the smoke or other injuries, this person is no longer alive.
Okay.
And instead, he just kind of drags the body out.
Alrighty.
That's where I'll leave him.
Okay. So I'm going to close the scene here. We'll go to reevaluating trust. We'll pick back up again tomorrow. Oh, do you have something?
Don't we still have to resolve Grimbeards?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
I was fighting
Thank
a
you.
guy.
You were fighting a guy. Okay. You
Yeah,
don't get to
So I
kill
rolled
him.
a 4. Okay.
Tell us how it goes. My apologies.
Is that a full failure?
Full failure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I the group that I saw break off, and this one kind of turns before following along with his with his party, sees us entering town, sees me issue the challenge, just kind of like stand between where my company mates kind of run off to the temple and Finnegan run off into this building to save this guy. And I stand my ground, light up 2 fists full of black flame, and he takes that challenge. Rushes down the road, and um, in a kind of, again, like a moment of distraction, I hear almost what sounds like a shockwave issue from inside the house. And flame fire is just kind of like pushed out through windows and out through crumbling holes in the wall, which this is Soren doesn't know this, but this is Finnegan's kind of like shockwave trying to manipulate the flames. But it's enough to distract me in that the possibility that something might have just happened to Finnegan, who through his calm words, I've started to kind of respect a little bit since this morning, is enough to distract me. And the rider kind of runs me down on the road, knocks me down, and I'll take a wound from that.
Okay. You didn't have to. It's gonna heal immediately.
I know.
Okay.
But for flavor.
For flavor.
Yeah.
Flavor.
All right. Okay. Anything? I don't want to. I don't know. Harsh
No, I
anything
think we
again.
gotta- No, I think
We're all
good
good
now.
to move. Yes. Okay.
Yep, good there.
Evaluating trust. Let's see if my thing worked. Bam. Yes. All right. I think that worked, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So, yeah, we'll pick back up tomorrow in the town, but let's reevaluate our trust. Again, I've been always starting with you, 10 Rabbit Bears. How
Sure,
do you
yeah.
feel about your party members?
The only thing I have to ask a question first
Yes.
that I meant to ask earlier, but I did not.
Hmm.
I, as the player, obviously know Dorian messed with me. Is that something possibly that Finnegan would have picked up on? Is what I'm trying to determine.
Well, I mean, he did.
Oh, you're cutting out. Oh, yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, he did yell in your ear.
That's true. I think that's kind of lowered him a little bit for me.
I think it's fair for you to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like, again, it's the like, okay, how far, like, as a player versus Finnegan in a new system, trying to determine. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd at least lower that. I'm gonna say 1 for now, because again, I don't think he 100% knows, because he's kind of a loud person anyway. But it definitely was suspiciously timed. So I'm definitely gonna lower that by 1.
Okay.
I think, again, I think Soren has once again chosen a safer path for the general good. I think I'd give him another 1 as well. But I think Tobor and I are pretty solid where we are.
Okay. Soren, Grimbeard Adventures.
Okay. Finnegan and Tobor each are actually going to gain a point of trust. They have shown remarkable ability to kind of calm me down, and like they're gaining. Like I said, trust is hard to come by for Soren, but they're gaining that. You know, they're not jumping to judgment. I mean, because obviously, you know, they know my past. Like they know that I've not really paid much heed to who I've had to burn and bury along the way, but they still are. They're making an effort with me. So they're gonna gain a point of trust. Dorian is also gonna gain a point of trust. Because like even after it was proven that one of the Fae was in possession of my trinket, and kind of feeding off that sentimental value, he was willing to chase after them with me. And that's it was kind of like an emotional shock, like, you know, where I was actually kind of sure that it might be him, and you know, he's he showed a little bit of the tenacity of a dragon in chasing after the unknown with me.
And yeah, okay. Rebel Tobor. How about you?
I think, like, I agree with what TRB said. I think me and him are just fine. We're very well aligned. As I was like the last to enter the conflict, while everyone was kind of running off, I would give a little bit of trust to Dorian. Honestly, he means well. And Soren as well, because I can see that this is, the end goal is being met by any means at this point. So I would say I have a little bit more trust for those two.
All right. Sounds good. And Dorian.
Okay, my trust scale is a little bit messed up. I'm going to say that right off the bat. So, one, I have a little more trust for Soren because he showed weakness.
Ooh.
He has a chink in his armor, so I trust him a bit more because, you can use that. Finnegan, I'm going to go -2 on trust because he is far too perceptive for my liking.
Okay. And Tobor?
And then Tobor, I just can't understand Tobor, so I'm going to leave it as is. I don't trust him more. I don't trust him less.
Okay,
he complimented me,
sounds
but then
good.
I don't understand it half the time.
All right. So, next bit before we wrap up for the evening, does anyone want to speculate on anybody's fate?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Grim can go. No, you had your hand up. Go for it.
No, I guess I did, but it was just no. I wasn't like hey, it's my turn. It was this. That's just I don't know why I do that. Like I just have my hand up, but like, I mean, it's very very possible. It could be a red herring, but it's very possible that we do have an unholy pact. That's the name of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't remember
Yes,
all the things.
That's one of them.
Okay, yeah.
That's the person
Yeah.
who's working for the witch.
Yeah.
Right?
But again, we're all GMs and GMs are tricksy, so
Right.
it very well could be a red herring. But given what we've seen, it could very well be Dorian.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Any other speculations?
I share that speculation. It was that, or if I remember correctly, Past Allegiance was the other one I was thinking of with him. Those are the two that I was considering. I've got my little like ticker with them where I think everybody is. Every time something happens, I'm like, oh, I think that person has this one.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I
I
got
made a
that.
copy of that character sheet thing that Celeste made, and I just added to it for my own notes.
Nice.
Smart.
I have. Can we say like any suspicions we have? Like,
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I currently I was thinking, and again I have to reread the fates, so I make sure I'm using the right ones. But I was thinking that Soren was either Unholy Pact or desperately in love. One of the two. Tobor is a mystery, but I have, again, Past Allegiance or True Motive I had on his as a possibility.
True motive for the viewers is you want to make it to the witch, but for some other reason than stopping the witch.
Right. Which is the other one I have for Soren as well.
Any other speculations? My speculation is I think Tobor is desperately in love with his former master. That's my only speculation.
I have one speculation, and I think it's worst fear for Soren.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Ooh. I didn't think that till you said it, but
That's exactly the one I was going to say for Soren. I have worst fear.
Yeah, and because it was a locket or a charm, and I was like, that I understand like sentimental value, but the outrage that came with that, I think there's
Mhm,
something else
mhm.
that goes with it.
That's a solid thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Can we
I
say
think
why we think this?
yeah, go, I mean, if you don't feel like you're
Honestly, why
gonna
not?
tip your hand too much, go for it.
Oh no, it's more of what Grimbeard was saying was recently connected to this amulet. He feels his power has waned slightly.
Mm.
So the feeling that his power has waned, this connection to the amulet, and that the witch is a part of this, I have like this is a worse fear type thing, and this is why maybe he's going after the witch.
Oh, maybe.
Or I also had Unholy Pact, which maybe he's going to the witch because he's afraid he's losing his powers and wants to gain more.
Ooh, you
Also
know,
possible.
sentimental amulets also fit in very nicely with Desperately in Love.
That's why it's on my list.
I don't know how one
'Cause
guy
it's
has
super-
all of them. I don't get this. This must make sense.
And-
I'm being tricksy.
You're not foreshadowing
He's
good
got-
enough.
Yeah,
My
right.
list has 3 for him.
For Finnegan, I have True Motives. Because he is far too calm with everything that's been thrown our way thus far. He's more focused on what we're doing than what is actually happening. So to me, it feels like he knows what we're walking into and he's afraid what all of us might do to what he knows is coming.
Tobor might also have revenge, and I know that he's a very passive combatant by his like master's tutelage, but your master was killed, and we've seen. Well, I mean, like, so the audience has seen your retribution for those that disrespect your tenets.
Yeah.
Kill mode.
That was pretty intense.
Activate instant kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the viewers who didn't get to read the rules, for revenge, it is strongly encouraged that you pick another party member as the person you're seeking vengeance against. Doesn't have to be, but it's very strongly encouraged by the rules. So, revenge is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Oh,
Without saying obviously what mine is, I was very happy with the one I got.
Same, actually.
It was very in line with what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, this is like perfect.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I literally am like on the fence with mine, but I'm doing the best I can with wine because it's not anyone's fault. I literally threw this character together in like the span of like an hour, because I had work, life,
Right.
all that other stuff. And I was like, all right, I got to get this done because I really wanted to do this. I was just like, I can really pull the GM hat and just like, all right, we could do this on the fly, easy day.
Yep.
Which is
Yeah,
honestly
it's-
like,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's probably what the thing is I think the next 2 sessions is gonna be even better for all of us because we're seeing how far we can push the boundary of creating the narrative with our dice rolls.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was gonna kind of add on to what Rebel said that like, like we can throw a character together real fast, but then receiving our fates and then having to reconcile how we made the character and what the fate could mean for like kind of how that goes. That's a challenge in itself.
Especially if they hadn't gone well together.
Yep.
I think I was very fortunate. I think mine went really well together, but if that
I'm not
wasn't the case,
I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of like tip shadows off to this, but mine didn't. Until we did some things in the Candlekeep campaign.
Ooh. Ooh.
nice.
So yeah, I'm actually
Oh.
I'm tying some of that together.
If I'm taking anything away from this, it's next time around I hand out fates first.
That would
No,
be,
no. I like the way that we did this.
Oh, yeah?
Because I mean, like a dragon doesn't back down. I was there for the challenge.
It's actually really fun trying to build, like, have your character and what they've done in the past and trying to understand what this connects with the witch. It's kind of like a little fun brain puzzle of trying to build off of that, of building into your backstory, but not revealing it just full blown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
It's like true character development.
It really is.
In
Right.
such a
Well, that's-
short span.
Yeah, it is. What I'm taking away from this is how to come up with like narratives on the fly instead of like, because I've only ever done modules, so like narratives pretty much cut and dry. But coming up with stuff on the fly, I am like, this is like sharpening that GM like that tool set I got going on right now. So I'm enjoying this thoroughly.
I'm glad. What did you think of the rest of the mechanics?
I felt so dirty doing the betrayal.
I'm
I
so
loved
glad
it.
you did,
I
though.
loved it.
I'm so
it
glad you did.
works. That's the
it
point
was
of the
great.
game.
Because
Right.
I was reading too that when you, I'm pretty Celeste, you can correct me if I'm wrong here,
Yes.
but when you use a point for betrayal, you can't be counter bought. Like
Yes.
that just happens.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think the other thing about
like it.
this, I think the other thing about the system is like we are so used to like turning on player mode and we're waiting for someone to drive the story aside from us. So
Mm.
giving that wheelhouse back to like you as your own mini GM within a GM is kind of a change of pace for us because we're so used to driving we could drive a story all day, but to actually like take the reins from within the story as well, it's kind of weird. I won't lie. That's like the only weird thing I've noticed, but I mean, we're all pretty seasoned DMs, so we kind of understand like, hey, it's I think at this point we just need to say Celeste will say, hey, it's Grimbeard. All right, hey, you, what's yours? You know, just more direct stuff. It's like that way we're not saying, oh, I'll interject and we're not talking over each other.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That is where I think I struggle so far. Just knowing where the limits are of how
Right.
far I can just like, cool. I mean, I can keep going. Like, I got plenty.
Right.
It'll just
Well,
keep
Yeah.
going.
Maybe next time just keep going and I'll interrupt and stop you if you're too far off the rails.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do know from reading the guide that like when the narrative is mine, like I can say Soren moves forward, Finnegan does this, and Dorian does this behind me. I know I can do that, but it feels so weird because like
Yeah.
as a DM, we don't like to take agency away from other players.
Mm-hmm.
That is
But-
true. Yeah.
But like when we
But this is a
have the
different
narrative,
system.
yep, it's a different system. So like it kind of goes against the grain a little bit, but when we all kind of like got the ball rolling, like it felt really good.
Mm-hmm. I agree, 100%.
Same.
Right.
I can't wait to run this myself.
Yeah.
This is great.
Oh, that's the best
I'm
thing I could
thinking
have
about it
heard.
too.
Yeah, I am as well. Like the biggest thing that I'm trying to overcome is that, and I feel really bad about this, less from all of us. We're just so used to the point where the DM tells you the outcome that you're like, okay, what are you trying to achieve? It just feels so weird to be like, hey, I'm doing this, and this is what I want to happen.
Right. Oh my God.
Right. And like you have to think like one level above. Right? Typical Dungeons and Dragons, you're like, oh, I want to attack with my sword. That's a thing you can do. In this
I
game,
want
that's not enough.
right. It's
You know
not,
what
I
it
want
is?
to do this. Tell me how. It's no,
Yes.
I'm doing this.
You're
Yeah,
right.
we're all fighting main character syndrome. We're all
Yes.
trying not. That's
Yeah.
it, because we're trying not to be that guy. But unfortunately, that's the name of the game. And it's like when you have the
Yes.
narrative, like that's
Right.
it.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
And
like I did appreciate in that first encounter where you're like, you can kill this guy if you want to. I'm like, oh great, all right. So I don't like I'm not just gonna like push and overstep bounds. Like I like having like you gave me that little like heads
Well-
up that I could go that far.
Yeah, yeah. I might have, if the die roll was different, said you cannot kill this guy because you
Yep.
have to roll high enough. So, for example, we flip black to back. Sorry. Reminder, right? In the first act, we have weak enemies. Then they're going to be eventually turning into able enemies. You guys are strong. I'd have to roll +5 to kill one of you. The witch is going to be +5. Major NPCs will be +5 as well. So you can't just dispatch the witch.
I will say with the system, it seems to be very much that you just have to have the end planned out.
Yes.
right? Like this is where you guys are going. This is your end result, so that you can let the players just go, oh, you killed all these people along the way. That's perfectly fine. Doesn't mess up the storyline because you know you're headed here.
Yes.
It's almost like a roguelike tabletop. Think about it. Like you get to pick and choose what happens, and ultimately at the end of it, you will either succeed or fail at the end of the battle, right? But you get to pick your weapon, quote unquote, of choice to either help or hinder your party or yourself.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. The way that I like to
Same.
pitch it is we play not to find out if, we play to find out how.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also like just picturing Soren's locket is in the mouth of a squirrel somewhere in a tree. That's it.
I know.
And it-
I know what to do with squirrels.
Yeah.
You kick
I,
them.
I didn't know I did it in Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna kick it.
Oh yeah.
Well, you
hell
failed
yeah.
to kick it. I watched
my
that
God.
one.
The first
so
the first
funny.
one. It let me
So
they
I was-
let me redo the kick.
That's
really?
true.
Yep.
That's so funny to me because the very first DM, the very first game I ever DM'd was back in middle school or high school, and my
Back in
players
our
were
day.
back in my day. Yeah, you know when we THACO and all that. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that long ago.
It was for me.
I didn't start with THACO, fortunately. I have done it since, but it's not where I started. The very first thing that somebody wanted to do was go find a squirrel and kick it. That was all they wanted to do. Like I had this whole thing. We're at the town, and like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to town. I'm just gonna go find a squirrel and kick it. I'm like, what? Why? So it's really funny to me that that's what you did in Baldur's Gate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
All right.
Oh man.
So
Last thing I'm going to say though is like I love how everybody's characters is getting. We're very quickly learning everybody's character. Like when Soren freaked out, I was like, he's going to instantly think I did it. Right? I was like, I can already tell his character is instantly going to think I did this.
Right.
I was trying to throw suspicion on Tobor.
I don't know.
I picked that up.
I mean, I don't know if it's like if I'm just like playing my character like purely as what I believe a Warforged would sound like, and I'm keeping that very monotone, droll, role playing to like throw you guys off or anything. But I could take it up a notch. I got a sound mixer right here. I can put a robot voice on. I could F with all of you.
So I did. I mean, I was going to kind of lean into that, but he made a good point that he's a monk. Like earthly possessions are kind of beneath him. So, even in Soren's rage, and I did almost just ignore like common sense and kind of continue raging in all three directions. But
Yeah.
with each kind of interjection from each of the characters, that's what kind of like started to calm me down and focus.
Yeah.
Instead of just kind of like blanketing the whole campsite in black flame, that's when I just kind of focused my rage into the stone.
Nice.
And it was very fortuitous that the face showed up because I was looking for something to burn.
Oh, there you go. I was just gonna throw suspicion on the person who was last awake. That was my
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
It's such a cliche. I hated that during watch. Oh, you didn't fill the deck log on your last watch? Oh yeah, you're the one who's going to mass. No, nothing happened on watch, literally.
I definitely didn't take the locket. I promise.
Oh god. Well,
Now we're out.
I definitely think that tomorrow's episode I can't wait. Honestly. Like
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. And
How am I supposed to sleep tonight?
right? How?
I don't know. Good
I
thing we're
definitely
not
think
waiting a whole
honestly though,
week.
honestly though, what I think we need to do is we need to get Celeste her own picture so she could be put in the middle of that of like the screen right now. So that way it's not just a dislocated voice just narrating everything. At least some
Okay.
representation because you're putting this together. You should be, honored for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I like stick my personification of the witch there?
Ooh,
do that.
That's perfect. The witch telling the story. I love it.
Yep.
You could do that. You could make yourself in Hero Forge as well.
Exactly.
Put your little Hero Forge mini
could.
in there.
I could.
When I saw that, I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, why don't we have Celeste here as a reactive? Because
Yeah.
you're a
So
part
I
of
had
it."
that thought.
We talked
Yeah.
about that, and I'm for that, but I think the original idea was to swap avatars for every NPC that you're playing, and I think that would just be like a bit much. But
Yeah,
yeah, if
that
you
was
pick
my
one,
original thought.
Yeah, if you pick one, we'd love to have you on screen.
Okay. Well, I got a few hours before tomorrow. I've got
Yep.
Just
6
a few.
minutes before tomorrow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you. This was
Yeah.
stupid fun.
yeah.
Thanks.
Right?
Thank
I
you
like
all
this.
for coming. Like, you pointed out some very important things, and this is why I wanted to make sure I had people who were experienced at GMing, so you could not feel shy and jump right in, especially if it was going to be on stream. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for showing up with raid groups. That made me feel really happy.
We're here for it.
Okay.
And also, everyone, if you
Happy to
like
do
the
so.
overlay of the dice rolls, check out 3D Dice for all of your dice needs, because that was what we were rolling with tonight. It was amazing, and it's easy to add to all virtual tabletops as well as home games.
Very
I was
true.
gonna say, Celeste,
do
there
like
should
using
be
mine.
the browser source on the other screen, so that there's we've got the actual room view here, but on the other scene we should have the overlay.
Just in case
So
we
that
need to roll a die. Okay.
Yeah, so when I hit the too many button, it actually goes everywhere.
Okay. I will do that. I can definitely do that. Yeah. And oh yeah, there we go. Dice. Thank you, everyone. Any other final comments before we close?
Is it tomorrow yet?
Yeah. Is it tomorrow?
No, almost.
Dang
Are
it.
we there yet?
And
Are
I
we
should
there yet?
mention
Are we
this.
there?
You just see in the little chat there. I made dice with all the characters' faces on them. You can roll them to give inspiration, like Grimbeard did at that moment. And if you do exclamation point the character's name, you can go add those dice to your box.
What?
Forever.
Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
all-
I got to spend some time making some
Oh,
dice
hold on.
now because I actually got
What
some
just
pretty
happened?
dope stuff.
Yeah.
I'm taking them all.
Wait. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, I'm gonna do them all. Hold
It's
on.
because I'm still learning how to use the Streamlabs. I put like a 10-second cooldown.
Oh, okay.
We got Soren's die. Okay. And it was Finn, not Finnegan. I didn't type your whole name
Finn.
out because
Nope,
I'm
it's okay.
lazy.
Totally fine. There we go.
Ah! Okay. I will update that for tomorrow.
So I do have a stupid question.
Yes.
And I didn't want to interrupt gameplay earlier for it.
Go for
I
it.
don't see the extension.
Just beat you.
You don't see the extension.
No. Grim
No?
clearly did it, so I know it
Okay.
has to be around, but I don't see
Yeah,
it
so you
anywhere.
go to twitch.tv/3ddice_app, and then you scroll down to the panels, and the extension
Yep.
should be there. If you haven't been there before, it will say, this is an unreviewed extension. It's in test mode. Click here if you trust this developer.
Yeah, I only got the 4 panels: the game masters, players, streamers, developers. That's all I got.
Interesting.
Same here.
Oh, it must be because I specifically added Grimbeard Adventures as a tester for it.
Let me log in with my troll account. I'll see if I can see it.
I thought that adding you as a tester meant that you could put it on your channel's page.
And I
thought-
am able to do that. But
And-
apparently that's a little bit more restrictive than we
Oh.
thought.
Oh, well,
Well,
Yep.
we're learning. We're learning a new system, and
We're-
we're learning how to code at the same time.
we
How about
are.
My
that?
troll,
Okay.
my troll can't see it. However,
So
something
let's-
interesting. So when
Bam.
I still have the extension active on my channel.
Yeah.
Uptari is able to see it.
Did you upgrade the version purposefully?
Not since the first night I tested it. So
Okay. So that
maybe
might
she
be.
can't see it anymore.
Maybe she can't. But I was about to say I saw it this afternoon, but I'm me and I own the thing and I added
Yeah.
my
Right.
personal account as a tester. Okay, well, you know what? We'll see if I'll submit it for review tonight and we'll see if they review it. We tested it.
Yeah.
You rolled it. I just rolled it.
I would like to see it. That's all.
Fine.
And I didn't want to stop gameplay.
I
to go
will
over
add
that.
you as a tester. This way you can see it, whether or
Cool.
not they approve it. So anyone listening, if you guys want to be added as a tester, come by my Discord and give me an @ and I'll add you so you can see it tomorrow. Alrighty.
Nice.
For
Okay.
those who are not part. Haha.
Good job. Yep. Oh, sorry, that's my
forgot
troll
about-
account.
I know.
Did it
I
work?
forgot about that.
Grim
No, 'cause
Quest,
did
I
it, so it's
see.
a cooldown.
Oh no, you added it to your dice box.
Yeah, I got all of them now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm rolling Finnegan dice tomorrow.
I haven't made any dice for Tobor, but I can come up with some tomorrow after work.
Yeah.
Well, I did make one, but now I'm swapping it out for.
For the one
This
I
one.
made?
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
I just need Zenyatta
great.
dice or like some Warhammer 40k like Exterminatus dice.
Oh, wait a second. The command doesn't add it. It just creates a link.
The
here.
The
Brings
command
forward.
is supposed to
Yeah,
give you the link.
got it.
Yeah, but I think I set that cooldown setting a little too aggressive.
I mean, I just waited like a couple seconds and then did it for any ones that like I saw recently,
Okay.
and it was fine.
Okay.
All
Alright.
of you are now in my little hotbar here.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Well, it's been fun.
Thank you all.
Absolutely.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.